Older ones, for sure.
It's either like a reality show or it's like I said, Dawson's Creek.
Yeah. Pretty much.
This week, what does Pacey do?
It's Archie, but instead of Archie, it's
he
Rory.
dies. It's died and buried.
It's a work
somewhere in the
of
forest.
time.
All right, we are here.
We're
all ready to play.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys are just sitting here hanging out at the Abbey, St. Markovia. You're having a nice dinner. I don't know why you guys are so worried.
I have no
I mean,
idea.
what could go wrong? I mean, you have the abbot here. Seems like a nice, handsome young guy, eternally young. Apparently, he's been this young for about 100 years or more. And you have his companion, Vasilka.
I don't know if you mentioned that part.
Yeah, that sounds like new information.
Mm-hmm. No, that was mentioned in the last game. One of the Burgermaster had said that he'd been there, that he'd come about 100 years ago.
Oh, okay.
That's
and it said that he had power. Totally normal.
Yeah.
You said, when has anything ever gone wrong? When has anything gone right in this time we've been here?
Oh, well, that's a good question. I feel like you're one of those glass half empty folk.
There's a glass?
Yeah, all of you are glasses, and Strahd is waiting to drink.
I feel like my character's made of glass.
So as you're sitting here in the Abbey with the abbot Vasilka, Jareth and I think Riles had just noticed that Vasilka doesn't look like she's quite normal. She's got these stitches, kind of like around her neck, her arms. She's also a little bit unusually tall for a woman. I don't know how tall Jareth is. I know Riles is short, but you guys only really saw her from a distance until she had kind of sat down. But like, she's maybe 4 or 5 inches taller than you.
How tall is a woman supposed to be, Rob?
Well, they're typically a little bit shorter than men, and she is a little bit taller than all of you.
I'm 5'11", if that helps.
All right, so women are 5'11". Is that what you're saying?
No, that's the Jareth is.
So you're saying she's 6'3"?
Maybe 6'4".
Okay.
That's a tall
And not because she's wearing high heels. She's actually barefoot.
Okay. It's got bare feet.
She's got bare feet. She's not wearing shoes. This dress that she's wearing looks like it's seen better days too. And meanwhile, a violin plays from upstairs.
And she's not undead. We know that.
She's not undead. Last thing that had happened was that Gretchen had extended her death. Trying to see what the hell's going on here. There was nothing dead in this area. No undead. None that you're sensing. Vasilka has also not spoken words. And the abbot doesn't seem to think that anything is strange about any of it. He seems happy to talk to a group of visitors. Food is laid out in front of you. It's brought in by Siegfried and kind of laid out on the table. More. He wasn't expecting guests, but them. And he glances over at Garrison and realizes that Garrison's going to have a little bit of trouble. Garrison is right there now.
Would you mind feeding
dear.
me?
Oh dear. What happened to your hand?
Have you heard of insert name here that I always forget? Adrian? Is that right? Is that right?
No, Adrian's one of the Mardikovs.
Adram.
Adram?
Seven.
You know that guy? He plays stringed instruments like your violinist upstairs, but he's a real asshole about it. He killed...
Oh, yes, I do know that. He gave lessons to, he gave lessons to Cloven. That is why Cloven plays so well. He gestures up to the roof. He gets up, the abbot, moves over to the chair next to you, Garrison, and reaches for your utensil to help you start cutting up food and to actually help feed you. If you are, maybe you were joking about that, but he doesn't seem to think it's a joke.
Really, you don't have to do that. I'll just...
Oh, no, I insist. To make things easier. But tell me, you said...
Now I'm uncomfortable.
Oh, no, there's nothing to be uncomfortable. All of us have our handicap. Don't we?
These are handy capable are killing that guy that broke my hands. So yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to find him. And if you got somebody upstairs that knows where he is, I'd like to know.
Oh, no. Cloven never leaves. No, we had him visit here. A couple times, actually. Yes, he's capable. He did this to you, you're saying?
Him and his band of whatevers, yeah.
It's just awful. But suppose, I might help you. I could give you a hand. Or maybe.
You'd be surprised how many times I've heard that in the last week.
Did Riles just, I'm wondering if Riles just played that on the other side of the table.
yeah, Riles quietly on his...
Like on the table itself, just like a...
It's
It's like a glass or something.
Yeah.
I'm less concerned about these and a little bit more about this. And he like puts his thigh, I guess, like from under the table, kind of closer to him.
Yes.
Oh dear, I am celibate.
Oh well.
No, he's been
Look
cursed.
a little bit more to the left, and he kind of uses this nub to show this like.
This would be so much easier if you could point.
I know. Here, and he just points. He's like, "Look, you see these marks? Apparently, this is really bad for me, and rumor is you might be able to help."
Ah, I see. An injury. Looks like something tore into you. An animal bite?
Supposedly a man-wolf.
Werewolf. Ah.
Where? No, we were in the woods. It was a man, though.
Yes. No, they are called werewolves.
I don't know where they are.
I believe, run afoul one of Kirill Stilyonovich's, one of his friends, his family. They live in the hills to the northeast. Dangerous folk. They normally keep to themselves. At least, well, the people of Crest, they man the walls at all time to make sure that none of them get in here.
They were working with the 12-fingered man.
I wonder if he's then been recruited by... Maybe he is to family. I could have sworn he was a Vistani. Well, never mind that. You need help. You've been bitten by one of these werewolves. You've come to the right. He smiles. I can help you.
Excellent.
Right.
But I need something from you as well.
And what would that be?
He gestures over at Vasilka. Vasilka needs a wedding dress. What she has now is just something we found been here for a while. You can see it's quite plain, a bit tattered. And I won't.
She
That
needs
won't.
clothing.
Oh yes,
Why-
yes. She is to be married.
Who's she being betrothed to?
The Count. He
Count
smiled.
what?
Or Baron. Is he a count or do you? Good
Which,
question. The Lord.
the Lord of who? I'm sorry.
The Lord of Barovia. The Lord of the land.
Stride.
The guy in all the notes? Why is she marrying that guy?
What? The note.
Yeah, here, look at these letters. They're all warning us about him and how much this place sucks because of him.
You pull out like all the notes that you found.
Yeah, we found like at least 2 correspondents that mention
Mhm.
like this place sucks and like
You pull these out and put them on the table and says, "Oh, this propaganda, I am sure." Now he is a very strict leader, and he votes no fool. And of course, he does get out of hand at times. But what he needs is love, and I will give him that. As he gesture. But she must be ready, and she's not quite ready yet. She needs to look the part.
does
Perfect.
she,
What does
does she
she
want
think
to
about
do
all
this?
this?
Yeah. Hey, hey down there. Are you excited to marry the strict guy?
She kind of turns a little bit in your direction, and the abbot says, she does not speak, but Vasilka, are you looking forward to your marriage? And Vasilka nods slowly. See? She will be a noble, raised up to the highest nobility of this land. And then with the Count fight, and he'll turn his attentions to other things, to better things. And the land will be.
Okay. Wedding and a new love to distract him from all's evil. I like it.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
And
just-
all I need is a wedding dress. I have been thinking I was going to approach. I was going to approach the burgomaster, to Dmitry Kreskov, ask him to see if perhaps maybe his wife was nice enough. I just thought about it till now. Perhaps, and I don't normally leave the abbey, but maybe you could go speak to him and speak to his wife, and if they don't have one that is, well, perhaps they, as nobles themselves, know of someone that does.
all right. If they need to be paid for this, do you have any funds that we could use or anything?
Paid. You need something from me, do you not? I would leave this in your hands, and the gods will look down upon us all.
hmm.
They will provide, I am sure. Maybe, perhaps through you.
All right. That sounds not great for us, but no problem. Does Strahd want to be married? Is this gonna work out for him? Does he want this? You're not gonna.
Oh yes, Strahd has been alone for many, many years.
But what if he says no to your fine lady down there?
Well, no, he will not. I have already seen it.
Seen it? What do you
Oh,
mean?
yes, yes. I have spoken to those above. I have asked their advice many times, and then it came to me in revelation not too long ago that what he needed was the woman. I had seen a painting of a woman in his castle. The way that he looked at it convinced me this is who he saw. And so, Vasilka, well, she's made in her image.
How did you make her? What do you mean?
The gods provided. Vasilka was born here under my hand.
What does that mean, though?
Where's Vasilka's mom?
Oh, she has none. She's a divine creature.
Whoa. That's amazing. How come they
Indeed.
did?
I am very skilled in healing and repair. This
Fine.
is why when I saw your hand, I believe that I could replace them for you.
Can't you
Oh,
just
that'd be
fix them?
nice.
Why do you have to replace them?
Well, hands do not just grow back once they come off, unfortunately. Even a healing spell cannot do this.
Let's maybe hold off on that for now. I like my stubs. Can we? You made her. How come you didn't let her talk? I don't get it.
Oh, that I just haven't. She's not quite ready. I have been working. I did not make it so that she could not. I just have not. She has not learned how. She seems shy, perhaps. He seems a little confused by this. If you want to roll an insight check.
No. Garrison's an idiot. If anybody else wants to be insightful, that's fine.
I'll try it.
He's just like kind of flabbergasted at the fact that this guy somehow made a creature. Like he's very like, whoa. What kind of gods let you do that? Who's your god?
Gretchen and Jareth, you both think that he's telling the truth, that he didn't make her so that she couldn't speak. She just hasn't spoken yet, and he seems actually a little bit like concerned about it. And you ask, when Garrison, you ask him who he worships.
Yeah, like what gods let people do that? Like, yeah.
What gods let people do what?
Make people. I didn't know that was a thing. You said she was divine.
Oh yes. Inspired by the gods above, rebuilt, made better, stronger, faster, perfect.
So, who helped you there?
Rebuilt?
I did this myself.
Didn't you say you got guidance? I'm very confused about this.
Oh yes. Well, the
I'm
gods.
impressed, but
They
which gods?
well, my God. And he gestures over towards the wall. He says, "The morning glory. You do not see the holy symbol." Points over towards the northern wall here. Describe this room again here for you real quick. There is there's a fireplace there, a hearth, large hearth. It's got fire in it. And above it hangs a golden disc that's engraved with the symbol of the sun. If anybody wants to roll religion, I can't remember if anybody did last.
I did.
Game or not.
Yeah. So it's
Did-
Lathander.
Yeah, Lathander. It was a good god.
Yeah.
A good god of the sun and all things that are good.
Well,
Rebirth.
Yeah, God of the Dawn.
who am I to question the gods and their work?
Indeed.
I was worried about her, but now I feel a little bit. I'm more at ease.
You
think
say
you could
you
help me with
made
my
her
rank?
though? What
Yeah,
what
the god-
exactly
the
did
gods
you make her from?
Oh, that is a good question. Is she made of soap?
No, she's made of flesh and blood. The rest.
Oh, okay.
Where did you
I get
get
it.
the flesh and blood?
Well, it was provided to me by my servants. He gestures over. Dick Freaks gives a big smile. Yes. I provided as the abbot needed.
Wait,
How did
Are-
part
are-
selection go?
are you the cause of their condition?
He pauses for a second. When you're gesturing towards Siegfried,
Yeah.
the abbot says, "Not exactly. No, they were cursed. Their condition has nothing to do with facility. That happened decades ago, generations ago for the Bellevue. There are many of them here, and they all suffer from various maladies, madness, and things. I spend my time taking care of them. That's why I rarely leave the Abbey. I have no one else to watch this place. And some of the Bellevues, well, they are not quite right in the head. Perhaps you heard some of them in the courtyard. I believe I heard a ruckus before you arrived. And Siegfried says, yes, they are the brothers and the sisters. They heard them. But we didn't let them out. No, they're still held, still safely locked away for now.
So if not from them, where did you get the stuff to make her?
Well, from other people. He looks at Siegfried, and Siegfried just kind of nods. Yes,
Hello?
I brought people.
I start nodding along and understanding. I think I just
Living
realized it.
people?
No. They were long dead, quite dead.
Are they
No.
organ
Yep,
donors?
I got it.
Did you check their license?
Obviously, that's not a real question.
So confused.
That's amazing. That is a great question.
All right. Well, it seems
The
up and
little
up for
pink
the
dot
good
here.
gods. Seems all right. How did you choose parts, Igor, Siegfried? What were you looking for? How'd you know which?
Siegfried is like, women. That's all he says.
Women.
Okay, that's
As the abbot commanded, women.
well. As uncomfortable as I am with this, I am impressed. And
The abbot kind of turns to you and says, I do have certain things I was looking for. Luster, hair, green eyes, pale, a little bit of a tint to it. Perhaps they have it somewhere.
So you made her from corpses.
Oh, I wouldn't say it so harshly.
I think if she looks all right. for
They were
somebody who
vessels
made a
that no
deadbeat.
longer had soul. Their souls had passed on. They no longer needed these earthly vessels. They would just simply decay into the earth and be lost. But I had a use for them.
As they should have been.
So does she have a soul?
He looks at Vasilka and he says, I am not sure. How does
if-
one know if they have a soul? Do you know if you have a soul? I look around this room. I cannot see if any of you do.
I've just always felt that there's soulmates, right? When you find that person, whatever happens to you and your physical form, you get to be with that person, maybe after or forever. I don't know.
Oh, yes. But
if she
that
doesn't
is...
have a soul, how does she give her soul to the Von Strahd man?
Well, you are making an assumption that she does not have one. The
I'm
gods have
just asking.
delivered her to me and into this world by my hands. She must have a soul.
All right. I mean, that math works for me.
Meanwhile, he's still trying to feed you with a fork. But are you just no?
Yeah, I'm good on the food, but the leg help definitely. If you could fix that, we could talk more about these replacement hands. But I don't want somebody else's hands, unless they're the six-fingered hands. If we can get those hands, then I'll take them.
Oh, well,
Yes.
that seems a bit harsh. I wouldn't like to deprive another person with a soul of their hands. That seems ghoulish.
Okay, but what
But if he dies
I
of
brought
natural
the hands?
causes, you could come by, and perhaps I'll see what I can do.
Natural causes.
Gretch,
Yes.
Gretch, I like this guy.
I'm glad.
I like him too, Garrison. I'm with you.
Perfect. All right. But
Gretchen's just like, I'm just gonna eat.
Gretchen's like, okay, whatever, Garrison.
Yeah.
While this conversation's happening, am I able to? Because obviously she doesn't know. Can I kind of teach Vasilka some letters?
Are you trying to teach her writing letters, or are you trying to get
Yes.
her to talk?
No, teach her kind of get her started for the abbot.
Let's see. Roll a d20.
Please get a nat 20.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Yes.
Okay.
What letters are you trying to teach?
All of them.
Just the basic alphabet for common.
Okay, we'll say that it's
Start
the
there.
same. It's A, B, C, D. Whatever.
Yeah.
You you trace out like A for a while, like when you're sitting here with her, and she eventually copies the A. And then you get to the B, and the B looks a little bad. She's not very good at picking things up. But you've only been here like 20 minutes
Yeah. So
by this.
that's fine.
Whether she
Good work
retains
with it.
any of this, that's more on her rather.
Yeah.
You're a natural teacher, though. You have a
Just gonna,
gift.
just gonna keep trying, and maybe even to get the recognition in, I'll spell out her name and see if she can copy that.
Okay. All right, you start working with her. You've been doing this for a little while. The abbot has basically said that he can help Garrison, but that he would require a sign from the gods. This dress for this. Do you guys have anything else that you want from me? Any other questions?
Since
Tries
we're
to
kind of
spoon some
becoming
soup for you.
friendly. No, again, I don't want any. Stop trying it.
Where is the Burgermeister and his wife residing?
Oh, they have a nice, fine house right near the gate. You've already seen it. You walked right when you came in.
Oh, okay.
So the person he's talking about, by the way, to remind you, that's Burgomaster
guy
Dmitry
you met.
Kreskov.
Yeah.
Is and the abbot will tell you, like, if you can't remember, like, where's his house? He's like, oh no, that's the Burgomaster Dmitry Kreskov. His house is right near the gate. His ancestors built this town at the foot of the abbey a long time. When the land was conquered, I believe his first ancestor built some of the first structure. The Kreskovs have lived here ever since. And I imagine that they will live here for quite some time to be. You guys know that Kreskov, he and his wife are like the last. When you guys came here, you learned that Kreskov had just lost his last son, like a week ago. His last son, Ilya, had died. Just wasted away and died like a week.
The people outside of your nice tower here, they might need your help. That guy you just mentioned, they're the last of them, and they're having a hard time making any more. So, the last of those guys that lived here for a long time probably got about 20 years left.
Well, no. Dmitry has multiple children. I am sure that
No,
his
they're all
line.
dead. They're all dead.
What do you mean all dead?
You know how, like, she was made of the dead people? Parts of Dimitri's family might be parts of her.
Oh.
The last I had heard, he had multiple children. This is a tragedy. Awful
Yeah,
tragedy.
things aren't good out there. I know you said you don't leave here much, but maybe you should try to at least give some of this amazing ability of help and healing and godly profoundness that you have to the people around you.
You are correct. Perhaps they do need my. Perhaps I have been neglecting the rest of my flock for the sake of Bellevue's and for the Silka here. But I tell you what, when you are ready to return to Kresk, I will join you. We will go to the Burgomaster himself, and I will see what I can do.
Oh, that's great. They kind of owe us a favor because we brought all this wine.
Good. Favors are good. Perhaps then it will be easy for us to.
Since you've been around here and know so much, what do you know about that big tower over on Lake Bardhak and that powerful wizard Kazan?
Oh, that wizard, he was before my time. He's been dead a long time. The tower has always been a shadow on the lake, as I understand. I've passed it once in my early days here, and even then it was abandoned. And folk, they kept quite a distance from it. It's rumored that the wizard that lived there left a trap Right.
Interesting. All right. Well,
You know, you
guys,
are not the first person to ask about this place. I have another guest that is also at this tower.
no way.
Another
How many
guest.
people come here to see you?
Oh, not many. This guest, she keeps to herself, for the most. It's almost as if she's hiding, it seems.
Would you invite her to dinner?
Oh, yes, but she does not often come. No.
Will you see if she'll have dessert with us?
He looks to Siegfried and he says, could you perhaps go and see if Esmeralda would join us? And Siegfried's like, just the eager servant, nods, bows. Yes, yes, I'll go right away, Abbot. Right, yes, Father. And he runs off. So the Abbot's guest is somebody named Esmeralda.
And she also asked, Abbott, we were told by somebody who gave us some information and believes things, that Strahd guy that you're going to marry her to pulls people into these lands and plays games and kills them. And it's been happening for a while. And I'm not going to say that that's what's happening or not happening. But have you ever met other people that kind of just show up here and then ask you questions or do anything? Are you the first strangers you come across?
No, you are not the first stranger to come here. Now, there have been others over the years. Many of them have never returned. And some have outright stood against the Count. But this is a foolish thing to do. Very foolish.
Why
You
is it so
cannot win
foolish?
against him with force. No.
How, if you were to beat him, how, if you can't use force, and if this love thing doesn't work?
Oh, it will.
Okay,
Fear not.
that's good. I'm glad that you think that.
I do not think you might quite understand. Count Strahd von Zarovich, he was a warrior in his time. He conquered these lands. He is skilled with sword and armor, and also understands quite a bit about men. There have been, on occasion, those that have tried to usurp his power, and none have succeeded.
I just kind of want to go home after this. You know? But you saying that most people don't ever come back or anything, that's the part that's kind of been turning my stomach.
Well, I do not know what to tell you about that. This land is his land. He decides who comes and who goes.
Does he ever let anyone go? We heard that race of people that are
The
not
Vistani.
gypsy. Yes, those. They may be able to leave and come back. Anyone else that can?
If they have left, they have not returned to tell the story of how they convinced the Count to let them go. That does not mean that it has not happened.
All right. Well, Ryle's over there. He's been quiet tonight, but he's usually convincing.
He looks down the table towards Riles, who had made that boom sound earlier.
Hi.
Hello. He kind of waves down there. It's a delicate sort of hand. Small
Riles,
folk are so jolly. Good to see them here.
can you fix his sense of humor? His jokes have been sucking the last week or two.
Oh, roasted.
Harrison.
Ouch.
You, sir, Riles, your name was? You're
Yeah.
suffering from some sort of affliction? A curse?
Yeah, it's big, it's orange, it doesn't have hands, its name's Garrison, it's right over there next to you. That's the only curse.
He looks at Garrison. I think you're having a jest with me. Is that the case?
No, his jokes do suck, but
Well, let us hear one. Please, tell us a joke. Perhaps you could teach one to Vasilka. They say that laughter is the quickest course to one's heart. Puts you on the spot.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Uh,
This is her icebreaker to straw.
I don't know how to set this one up. I'm working on it. So what do you guys call a graveyard? Human resources? That's all I've got, guys. I've been working on that one for a while.
Oh, we all point at Sidvic or whatever his name is.
What's
Siegfried's not here,
Yeah.
but that would be awesome if they were. The abbot. Let me see if the abbot.
What does a necromancer call a graveyard? Human resources.
Human resources.
The abbot says, "Oh, that is a good joke. That is a very good joke. You said that his humor needs fixing. I don't see anything wrong with it. That was a great joke, my dear."
He could stay here with you forever.
No.
And the Bellevues.
Well, I do have a few extra rooms open. I could always use more help.
Yeah, just chain him to the post like you have that other one out there.
No one's
No,
cheating.
most others that have come here offering to help, they don't stay very long. Unfortunately, they do not understand the ailments of the Bellevues. They just need a firm and holy hand to guide. It is my responsibility. Siegfried returns around this time and he says, Lady Esmeralda, she says no thank you. That she plans to stay in tonight and read. Said something about washing her hair. I don't think that she was going to do that.
Does she have hair?
Oh yes. Long dark hair, curly hair.
Okay. What else does she have?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just figured maybe knew anything else about her. Or
Oh
why
well, she has a fake leg.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Left or right leg?
It is. He tries to think. He holds up his hand, trying to remember what's left and what's right, while the GM looks this up.
Does it even tell you?
It does. Hold on a second.
I had a friend that lost his left leg. We called him lucky because if he lost his right leg, he wouldn't have been able to be on our soccer team. He had a good kick. No, that wasn't a joke. That was real, man. Stop making jokes about my friends and my hands.
He says Esmeralda. Yeah, he says this leg, and he pats his right leg.
Oh, the not lucky one.
Yes, it's made of some sort of metal.
This lady sounds interesting. Jareth,
Oh,
it's too bad that you're also engaged.
Is quite. Yes,
What's that?
very beautiful too.
Saying it's too bad that our prince is engaged, or we maybe have that would have been an in.
The one time that Jareth actually has. But
What about you, Bimothy? What's your relationship status like? Can you woo her?
I'm not super well versed in romancing.
It's okay, Bimothy. You're fine. Just eat. You're fine.
Okay.
Gretch, you got any ideas how we can meet the iron-legged woman that somehow also asks questions about the tower?
I mean, you could just have Siegfried take you to her room. I don't know.
That sounds aggressive. What if you go?
Well, that would be unseemly to interrupt a lady while washing their hair.
Well, Gretch is a lady. She could go.
Oh, indeed, you are.
She wants to be left alone.
Yeah.
And
I want my hands back. What do you want?
for you to get your hands back.
Yeah. You think she might be able to help in that overall situation?
And why do we think she can help again? I lost that.
I don't know. I was trying to make you feel guilty because she knows something
Oh.
about the tower and I want to meet her.
Okay. Oh, The tower, that's right.
Yeah, there's something else you guys were forgetting. Another reason why you came here.
Am I forgetting more of this? I will
Maybe.
scroll up in my notes. We
Nudge,
have the
nudge.
card.
Abbey of St. Markovia.
We have the card. And came here, right? The mist card. We did that.
Mhm.
Markov tells the party about the Abbey. Priest inside, rumor that he lives there with the Belleviews. Very strange, not human.
I think you got to go back further.
What?
I'll give you a hint. It was in the Taroka reading.
The priest card.
Oh
Or
yeah,
the bishop card.
yeah. The Taroka reading.
You will find what you seek in the castle amid the ruins of a place of supplication. Isn't that what he told us about the wizard's castle? I'm reading card 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't that relate to what he told us about the wizard? Tower?
Let me check here.
Is it
You will
the
find what you seek in the castle amid the ruins.
No,
of
look
a
at card
place-
4.
Yeah,
Yeah, card 4. This card
Oh.
sheds light on the one who helped you greatly in the battle against darkness. Vistana
seek her
wanders
out.
this land alone, searching for her mentor. She does not stay in one place for long. Seek her out at the Abbey
Oh.
near the mist.
Oh, Esmeralda. Okay. So we do need to speak with her.
Oh, now since the card says you'll talk to her. Jesus.
I
Nobody trusts Garrison.
Giggles, come on.
Giggles is like kind of staying really close to Gretchen's place, is freaking Giggles out.
Bring dessert up or something.
Siegfried said, should I bring up pie? Father, should I bring up pie for Esmeralda? And the abbot says, yes, to bring her some sort of a treat. And he kind of comes to the table and grabs a slice that and scampers off with Gretchen. This way. Walk this way. He limps out.
Walk this way.
And so Gretchen walks limping out.
Siegfried he comes into the courtyard here. He gives sort of a wide berth to this well that's in this, and he kind of puts his hand back, kind of gesture you to get. Although he doesn't say why. This goes
there
around.
something wrong with the well?
Oh no, the well is just fine. Siegfried says, steps around, continues sitting. Behave yourself, Marzana! He yells at the little bat-like woman that's tied up to this post over here, who's just like kind of pulling at the post, trying to get.
Oh my word.
This way brings you inside this door.
How long has she been like that?
Her whole life.
Oh my word.
You step into the eastern wing of the app. There's let me describe it quick. You step into the foyer of this part of the abbey, and this room looks like it might have been an office at one point, as evidenced by the remains of a desk and a chair, both of which have been smashed to pieces. The rubble here that you see in the corner. There's a hallway to the south that leads to a staircase going up, but as you're passing another long, dark passage to the east, you can hear like a bunch of unnatural whispers, mad laughter, and bestial, and you can smell like odors of like animals. Can Gretchen see in the dark?
Cannot, no.
All right, so it's dark down there, but give me a perception check.
Okay. Oh, nope.
All right.
One.
Siegfried just says, as he goes through this way, he kind of gestures for you to.
Oh.
Brings you down here and then up some to this. And let's go. Lord. Where's this? One moment, I lost my second floor.
Oh no. Also, I feel bad I didn't ask if anyone wanted to come with me.
Did anybody want to go?
It's too late now.
I believe in Gretchen's ability to ask Esmeralda questions and get somewhere versus Garrison's, so I support you.
Okay.
You got this.
All right. Just realized I can reveal some of the upper parts over on the right-hand side. The courtyard I've revealed. I'm also going to reveal the outside edges of the northern part of the alley. So you kind of know where you are a bit.
Got it.
You are currently coming upstairs right here. And you come up into another room in shambles. Let me make sure I have enough. You kind of know where you are. All right. The room that you come up into here.
I'm assuming
This is
people
another.
don't.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Assuming people don't come through here often.
Siegfried says, "Sometimes they do. Why?"
Oh, just picking at cobwebs and like, nope, no reason.
There's no cobwebs in here. I mean, there's a little bit, but like
Okay.
it does have. It doesn't look like it's abandoned. It just looks like somebody wrecked it and just didn't clean it up. And you don't know how long ago it was. The upper area here is also another office of some kind. There's a counter here and other furniture that's all mostly rotted away, leaving heaps of moldy wood and faded cloth. He doesn't go through this room. You can see that there's a door at the far side, off to your right when you come up. He turns and goes through the door to the left, which goes out to the walkway on the second level of the wall.
Okay.
Takes you out there. And then down to another door on the exterior of I think this is called that's the curtain wall. It's called a curtain wall because it's open to the interior and open to the sky. These things that you see up here, these are these scarecrows that you guys had noticed from the you could kind of see them on the walls before, like when you're coming up the hill, but when you came inside the courtyard, you could tell that they were just scarecrows. They were suits of armor with spears that have been propped up on the walls to make it look like they're guarding the place, but they don't seem to be real soldiers, and they don't move at all when you come up. And Siegfried completely ignores them, steps kind of down the door, and then moves up and knocks on it.
Oh.
Esmeralda, Lady Esmeralda, we have a visitor here, wanted to speak to you. A lovely, lovely young lady. Oh, what's your name again?
Gretchen.
Gretchen. He says, like, the worst way that you could probably say your name.
Ugh. Gretchen.
Great.
There is a voice on the other side saying, "I'm not taking visitors. What do they want?" And Siegfried just, "You, Gretchen. What do you want?"
See, should I mention the tarot card?
It's up to you.
Let's see. Oh, jeez. Well, me and my companions have found ourselves here in Barovia. And we were told you might be able to help us.
You can hear what sounds like furniture kind of moving around inside the room. What's your passive perception?
15.
Yeah, that's what I thought. There is after Libby says, "Touch," you hear like a kind of an exasperated sigh. "Hold on a moment, I'll be right there." And you hear a little bit more kind of moving around inside. And then you hear like footsteps approaching, sort of a softer one followed by a harder thunk, like a sort of a pad thunk. And the door opens, And there is a woman on the other side who looks like a Vistani. Dark skin, dark curly hair. She has like a head wrap on her head. The room behind her seems pretty big. It's about 30 feet to the far side. You don't see anything else in it other than a couple of windows with light streaming through. There's you can see candlelight that's kind of lighting the room from the other side, but you can't see like the source of those lights. And she's kind of standing in the door, just kind of looking out and kind of sizing you up. Let me show you an image of what she looked. Maybe I can. One moment, I find the right image. All right. Well, we're going to use this. Hold on one second. I need to edit this. I think a tiny. Hold on one moment. Let me find the right.
Okay.
You know, we'll just use this one. Use this image. Just pretend that she's not carrying a sword in her hand. Looks like she's ready to murder somebody in the image. That one's not like a first. But here we go. You can see that she's got that one leg. You kind of look down and you can see like there's this bronzish sort of like leg that is obviously not organic.
Okay. It's a pleasure to meet you. Would you care to meet my companions for dinner?
Kind of just looking you up and down. Gretchen, you are not from Barovia.
I certainly am not.
And your business here in these lands?
I'm not something to do with Strahd, perhaps? I was helping my friend hunt down a ne'er-do-well, and now we're here.
Hunt down a ne'er-do-well. Be more specific. You are hunters? Or are you bounty hunters? Are you sheriffs?
No. He's on a quest for revenge, and I was trying to get him to lay off it, but things have evolved since then.
She kind of chuckles a little bit when you say in a quest for revenge. She says, you will not be the only one on such a quest. How long have you been here? What have you seen so
It's been about, 4 days?
Yeah, I
I
think
look
so.
at Giggles. It's been about 4 days, Giggles?
I think about 4 days, maybe 5.
5
I think
days.
you spent 2 days with the Marcos getting
Okay, that's right.
rested.
So, about 5 days.
Yeah. And you are
And
still
we've
alive.
seen ghosts and werewolves and a six-fingered man. It's been quite eventful.
And you survived all these things.
Mostly. My friends are exhausted. Yeah, they're doing better now.
Oh, wait. Here a moment. I will refreshen up. Just give me a few moments.
Oh,
Close
take
the
your
door.
time.
You hear a little bit more kind of things kind of shuffling around the room behind her, and then maybe about 30 seconds or so later, the door opens back up, and she's pulling on the coat and kind of straightening. Let us go visit your friend.
Oh, excellent, thank you.
She looks to Siegfried and she says, Siegfried, go tell the abbot that we are on our own. Will you? So kind to do that. She smiles at him, and Siegfried just like gives a big grin. He says, yes, yes, and runs off like a with Siegfried gone, she slow walks kind of in the direction back or to the side where the abbot and everybody else. when Siegfried is out of earshot, she says, "The abbot, not someone you can trust. I hope that you are not asking him for favor."
Oh. My friend Czar, he's very strange.
Who is your
The
friend?
abbot. The abbot
Oh,
is very
yes,
strange.
Indeed.
Did he make that girl?
You have met Vasilka. Yes.
How is
believe that
that
he has.
not necromancy? I am so confused.
I am not entirely certain that it is not. Necromancy. The abbot is a strange creature. Some say that he is in league with Count Strahd von Zarovich. You know of him?
We've heard various things. He's the lord of the land, and everyone's terrified of him, but also very reverential.
See, she's just kind of like, she looks around a little bit as you guys are stepping like around the outside. She kind of looks up at like the rooftops and like into the shadows. She seems to be very kind of paranoid. But she quickly brings you back inside and then downstairs. But again, she's kind of slow walking this. They're kind of getting information from you. You guys at this point are probably coming back across. Grab Siegfried first. Siegfried by this time has arrived back in the dining hall. And he's just saying, yes, Lady Esmeralda and the new one, the Gretsch, is they are coming. They are coming.
The Gretsch. Siegfried's awful.
When Esmeralda steps out into the courtyard, she does the same sort of thing, kind of wanders past Marzena. She kind of gives her a pitiful look, and then gives like kind of a wide berth to the well, and gestures back to you. Stay away from the well. One of the Bellevues lives down.
Oh my word! What are with these people? Is it a curse?
I do not know. They have been this way for a long time. My suspicions is that the abbot has something to do with it, but he may not himself even know. I believe that he is insane. This whole place here is insane.
I was getting that vibe. I'm glad I. Oh. All right.
She limps across the corridor though and brings you and arrives with you at the dining hall. And everybody else gets their first glimpse of Esmeralda, who was a Vistani, who pretty much matches what this card told you to look for. Vistana at the abbot. And according to the abbot, she's the only other visitor.
Well, hey, thanks for coming down. You look like you could kick some ass. You trying to join us?
She kind of looks across the table at your group.
That's
Timothy right there. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Join you? Maybe perhaps for dinner. We will see about joining anything else that you might have in mind.
Great.
Abbot, she says, kind of bowing to him. She comes down. Chair. The abbot, meanwhile, has kind of stepped back over to his other chair, finally giving up on trying to feed Garrison.
I'm here.
Yay!
Nazoth comes running back from the outhouse.
Perfect.
Oh, perfect.
Are you feeling all right?
Oh, Naz, were you up in her room? Way to go.
He was not.
Sure.
He was not.
I can say Nazoth was just snoozing or something. He just took
at the table.
He took an old man nap at the table.
Arms crossed, a little reclined, like chin on his chest, like
A little bit of drool on his beard. Nazoth, you guys are still here talking to the abbot. You've kind of maybe been tuning out some of these conversations, maybe hearing some voices in your own head. But the short of explanation as to what's going on right now is that Jareth is trying to teach Visilka some letters. So, you guys have learned that Visilka is maybe not a real person and was built by the abbot. The abbot has said that he basically built her on the instructions of his god Lathander, who is a good god of the sun. People don't quite know what to make of that. He also mentioned that he was planning on, offering Vasilka to Count Strahd von Zarovich to be his wife, and that he needs a fine dress in order to present her to him. He believes that Vasilka, that he built in the likeness of a woman in a portrait that he had seen at Strahd's castle, that all Strahd's needs is love to be a good person.
Well, of course.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. You also learned that there was another visitor here, someone that had asked the abbot about a few things here in Barovia, had mentioned interest in the Wizard's Tower that you guys had glimpsed on your way back from the Wizard of the abbot tried to summon her with Siegfried, his servant, but she declined coming to dinner. But Gretchen went up and convinced her that she should come and meet you. And now this is where we are, with Esmeralda just stepping into the room, greeting the abbot and the rest of your group, and sitting down at the table. There's an image of her over in Discord if you want to take a look.
Yeah, I saw it.
He's a certified badass.
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you guys, but I was watching the chat. So
she's not carrying a sword and axe at the moment, but she looks like she could be. And she has a prosthetic
she
leg.
has 2 hands.
She looks like she has 2 hands. But she's missing a leg, so maybe she's...
Yeah, I was about to say, she looks like she could be carrying an axe. Isn't that everybody?
maybe.
Not Garrison.
Oh, carry an axe. You just can't
Not
wield an
yet. Although the abbot offered to give him hand, and Gareth politely declined. And the abbot tried to feed Garrison too, but Garrison also declined that as well. The abbot's trying to help him out so much, and Garrison.
Oh, sure. When the abbot offers to give him a hand, he gets politely declined.
That's all right. Ryle still made a joke out of it.
But when I do it, I'm an asshole.
Anyway, this is where we are. You guys have the group now has just been introduced to Esmeralda, who is this mysterious Vistana that is staying with the abbot for some reason.
Sorry to disturb you from being upstairs. My name's Garrison. The long and short of it is I was asking about the tower over at that lake, and they mentioned that you asked the same question. And I was wondering if maybe we had something aligned.
She kind of gives a sharp look to the abbot, but the abbot's already just kind of like he's smiling down the table at Vasilka side, who's like trying to like write letters on the table. Meanwhile, Jareth over the other side of the table, just as a quick aside, she's written A about like 15, 16 times, and they just gotten it just looks like an extended scream at the moment. Like ah.
Maybe she knows what she's writing.
Who knows? She seems to have learned A, and
That's a constant stream.
It's like a constant scream. It's a little disturbing, Jareth. Like you're like, oh yes, A. Okay.
Teacher B. Teacher B.
Oh, I'm trying to teach her her name right now, so it's a V right now.
You're trying that, but they're all just coming out as A's.
What is a V but an upside down A missing the middle part?
You just turn the paper over and you're like, good.
You can't just do that. There's a whole thing of paperwork you got to fill out.
What is a letter except a different letter shaped differently?
Yeah. All the same thing, except not.
It's gotta think creatively.
So that tower. What
the tower.
What were you asking
Yes,
about?
the tower, the wizard tower. On the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the very same.
What is
The
your
one
interest in that cursed?
Well, what's in it? What's about it? Why? Do you know anything about it?
I do not. I've not been inside. It is a dangerous place to go to. From all stories told. You do not mess with wizards unless you understand that.
I don't understand much, but if we're gonna go, would you want to come with us?
She kind of looks down at your hands. Seems to be like she's noticed that like you've been like injured badly. And kind of looks down at the rest of this group that's with you, this ragtag. Over at Gretchen, who seems probably the most normal out of your group, except for maybe Jareth. When do you plan on going?
Well, first we're going dress shopping, which you're more than welcome to come.
Do you have a magician with you?
Hello.
Like for children's parties?
No, you need a wizard to deal with wizardly things.
Yeah. Well,
Yep. Right here.
He
I'm
just-
not a wizard.
he just woke up. That's Naz over there. Naz, meet Esmeralda.
What's up?
Yeah, so that's the wizard.
Is he a wizard though?
I
I'm
don't.
close enough. I'm a Walmart wizard.
Walmart wizard.
Oh, that's great.
For some reason, I just imagine Nazoth just like rolling through Walmart on one of those electric carts with a giant staff like sticking
No
out
one
the
can
back.
tell him he can't use it.
Yeah.
Warlocks are wizards that only use one spell, but they use it very, very, very well.
I'm a Walmart wizard. Jesus Christ. Mm.
Yeah, so we got a cut rate one.
You said something about a dress. What is? She glances at the abbot, and the
abbot.
abbot's like smiling. Yes, a dress for Vasilka. He says.
Right.
She looks down the table at Vasilka and then back at you, which gives you like this weird sort of stony look.
Yeah, so there's this plan here that the abbot's gonna bring Vasilka after she's ready, air quotes, without hands. And part of that is putting her in this dress, and we're gonna help him get the dress because he's been everything and more than nice. And maybe he'll fix my leg, which is actually worse than my hands, if you'd believe that.
And just for you, so you know, when he does that little field goal thing, he's trying to do air quotes.
That is hilarious.
Uh,
That was great.
Go ahead.
lady, are you looking for someone? Are you looking for,
Whoa,
I
Bim, you
don't
making
know,
a move?
your
Oh yes.
mentor of some kind?
She squints down the table at you. Why would you say that? How do you know that?
Well, we were sent your way by I don't know if you know Madame Eva,
She
and
tisks and makes like a sign against evil. I do know her.
she showed us this deck of cards, and he'll pull out his Taroka deck. Not this one specifically, but then he'll pull out the Mist card, and he said that this would lead us to someone. I think you might be the person looking for. But he said they were at the Abbey, and I think that's might be you. But they said they were a Vistana wandering this land alone, searching for her mentor. And
So,
I'm wondering
you
if
go
that's
to-
you.
Well, real quick, like just to back up for a moment, you go to pull out the mist cards from like your deck, and you're kind of
Mhm.
holding it up, and she says that is not the mist card, and everybody else can see it too. And when you turn it around, you see that instead of the mist, there's this the enchanter.
Oh.
Oh!
Oh.
The card changed.
Way to go, Bim! You triggered something.
Yeah, everybody else saw that. That's the one he pulled up. It did not seem to change like that. You
Okay.
saw. He was going through his deck and he pulled out a card that he thought was the mists. But when he held it up, he was holding it up for her to see it, and he couldn't see that it wasn't.
Bim, that's not the card. Try again.
Wait, he'll look at the card.
No, that card is the enchanter. Stars.
Yeah, that's I haven't seen that.
Inner turmoil comes with this confusion, fear, false information. She seems to know the card and what it means.
Oh,
Rob, can you slap that into Discord?
I sure can.
It is. Oh, yeah, the card.
Oh no, the meaning of it.
Yeah.
No, you were the missed card.
I
The missed card one. Not we haven't even seen that card, Bim. What are you doing?
Bimothy will try and look for the miss card again.
This time when you look again, you find it. Pull it out and you kind of slowly turn it. Everybody's, and it is
Oh, you cut out.
it is. He pulls out the missed card. Then
Okay.
he kind of specifically goes through the deck to like look for it, and he pulls it out, and everybody can kind of see that he's pulling it out and showing it. This second time.
But Madam, you had told us that if this is if this card is referring
that is
to
enough. Esmeralda kind of holds a hand out.
Oh.
These sort of readings, they should not be spoken in public out loud. They are heresy to some. She looks to the app. I apologize. They are fooling around with things they do not understand.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I just found these.
She looks down the table at you and says, "Put those away." Well, I will tell you more about them. I am the Vistani. I understand these cards and the meaning of power. This is.
Oh, okay. He'll put the cards away.
She turns to the abbot and says, "This dress, you want this for Vasilka, and you have already tasked these friends here with helping." And the abbot says, "Oh, yes. But no, we are going to go together. Once this meal is done, we will send into Kresk, seek out the burgomaster, talk to him about the terrible things that happened to his children, 4 children, and I will see if perhaps they can help with the dress, and I will help them as well."
What's this about a dress now?
Oh, so you know the nice woman over there, Vasilka, that doesn't speak anything with Jareth?
It's definitely not undead.
Well, maybe she is, but
Definitely not.
she's gonna marry Strahd, because the reason Strahd is so sad is because he's longingly looking at a woman in a photo painting, and we have created Vasilka in some kind of image of her in order to unleash the ice on his heart and make everything better again.
Yeah.
So
It's a story.
Strahd commissioned her?
No. The abbot knows, and he's looking at you like pretty deadpan, knows that Vasilka is the answer. And when she's ready, she's to be presented, and it would just be obvious to Strahd. Am I getting this all right, Abbot?
Ah, yes, indeed. Quite right. The abbot smiles and looks down at Ed Nazoth with a comforting smile, which is maybe a little.
Yeah.
So since the abbot is a very kind gentleman, has only been helpful to us, and he promises to help my leg, and bonus points if we get the 6-fingered, 12-fingered man. If we get his hands, he'll give me his hands and put mine instead.
Oh, Garrison.
Yeah, the abbot nods, smiling again.
I see absolutely no flaws with this plan. Let's go for it.
That's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
Garrison.
Once we get dessert, because they mentioned pie.
Oh, there's already here on the table. The abbot says, "Oh, pie," and he takes like a fork and scoops out like cuts off a piece of pie and holds it up for you.
No. I just can you give me a to-go container?
I'll help you with that later, Garrison.
Thank you. So yeah,
His hands one of the plates to Gretchen.
We're gonna go talk to the family that's lived here the longest, and the husband and wife there may have a dress in order to give to Vasilka in order for our noble quest.
Don't worry about his hands. It works on My Little Pony rules. He can just magically grab it. It's best not to think about it.
Perfect. All right. I'm glad you're in. Well, if everyone's full, I'd love to go see if we can find Vasilka a dress.
Indeed, the abbot says. He stands up gracefully. Basilica, go to your room, would you? We will return forth. And Basilica stands and basically turns to kind of walk out. Jareth, you see that like on the table where she was like drawing this, like you were trying to teach her the V, she never got it. It was just A's and A's and A's. And it got to the point where she went off the paper and was like almost like the pressure of the pencil or pen or whatever you gave her was like leaving divots in the table. But now she just kind of drops it.
Working on it.
He's working on it. She stands and just kind of marches off.
Does she like completely disregard all of this? Like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Abbott, you'll tell her to keep working on what I taught her, yes?
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, I see. Ah, you've taught her A. He comes over the table. Quite nice, quite nice.
I was trying to get her to spell her name. We got as far as A.
Well, that's farther than I've gotten, I think. But then again, I've been trying to teach her to speak. I think both of these skills are very important.
Of course.
Vasilka gets up and like walks out of this place, like going this way, and leaves and heads out into the courtyard. You guys don't see her. As the abbot is kind of getting himself ready, calls over to Siegfried to go grab my coat and my cane, and Siegfried's kind of like running around, like getting stuff.
Siegfried, when you're done with that, can you clean the table from her mess?
Oh, yes, yes. I will clean up everything, don't you worry.
Ah. You're sure used to having help, huh, Gareth?
I mean, he's used to cleaning this table. I don't know what he uses to clean it. I'd rather not wreck it.
He comes over, he just starts cleaning up all the plates and like the napkins and stuff like that, and cleaning as he's told. The abbot says, if we're all ready. Yeah, he's got like this little sort of like staff in his hand, like a sort of like a priestly staff, and like this kind of overcoat that's nice and clean. And he seems ready to go.
Can I offer you an arm?
No. I don't need one. Thank you.
All right. Esmeralda, are you going to come?
Esmeralda nods. She's already come.
Right on.
Kind of following behind. She's watching a little bit at a distance. The abbot kind of heads out, leading the way. As you're making your way out, Gretchen, Esmeralda kind of moves up towards you and kind of pulls you back a little towards the back of the group so she can speak with you quietly. If anybody else is interested in this, in seeing what Esmeralda is saying to Gretchen, you guys just put the abbot.
Bimothy's interested. He's gonna hang back a little bit.
All right. We're going to move you guys just kind of the road here, and we'll put you kind of in order. Jareth, I think, is up with the abbot. I think Garrison is there too. Nazoth is maybe mid part of the group. Gretchen, Bimothy, and Esmeralda are... Where's Riles?
I like to be in the
Left him
mid.
there.
That way, if we get attacked, I have the most amount of meat shields between me and the enemies, no matter what direction they're coming from.
He shows in the front and the back.
But not on the side.
No.
Yeah, I just attack you from the sides. Now on.
Get flanked.
Esmeralda, as like the abbot kind of heads off with the group, and it's kind of a narrow track when you start heading down the mountain towards Kresk. And Esmeralda can kind of keep the rest of you back far enough that she can speak quietly, that those in the front. She says to Gretchen and to Bimothy, now that Bimothy's kind of held back as well. This reading that you got from Madame Eva, what else did
Oh boy.
Yeah, we got like a number of cards. I mean, I don't know. It's all very weird and strange, but I mean, the fact that this is I mean, are you the person that this card is talking about? Are you looking for your mentor?
I mean, I believe one of the cards mentioned the wizard, and that we were supposed to find.
Yeah, I mean, we had the wizard card, the priest card, the bishop, the miss, and the executioner. And I don't know, they all it talks about, I don't know, that it have some sort of purpose here, and we need to do stuff for help. I don't know. This is all very strange. This place is very strange, and I don't know. I guess this is, I don't know, guiding us towards something. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is.
Mhm.
The old woman is meddling. This is not the first time he has done readings for visitors. You should be wary of what these things say. There may be quite a bit of truth. You finding me is truth, and I am looking for someone else. You say my mentor is the one that taught me many things. And I had mentioned to your friend about spells. I know a bit of magic myself.
Hmm.
Mm.
And I know quite a bit about the Thani. I am one of them. And I have my story. It is complex.
Everything here seems to be.
Yeah, this place is weird. It's very confusing, and it's very deadly.
Really?
Um,
I haven't felt more at home.
You've passed out multiple times from us fighting other creatures, Nazoth. I don't know why you think this is not. This is okay. This place is horrible, and
It's
I
pretty
think
bad.
we kind of. I don't know. It sounds like we're trapped here, which sucks.
I just like the vibe of this place, I guess.
You know, you can do. You can. That's your prerogative, I guess.
Esmeralda is watching Nazoth with keen interest. Not like excitement, but just like maybe wearing it. Like Nazoth, like saying he's at home here, is kind of making her.
Because it's creepy and evil. Get it? It's a joke.
Is it though? I mean, Nazoth is creepy and evil, so
I mentioned to
Sometimes.
Esmeralda, we just met him.
I mean, we all just met. I barely know. I know. No offense, Grisha. I barely know you. I mean, I know anyone, and
That's fine.
this has been the wildest, like, most of a week of my life, and I absolutely hate it, and I want to leave.
You've been doing so well. You're so strong.
Uh,
You saved us so many times.
oh boy, say that.
am I to infer that you, or most of you, did not know each other before you came here?
No, we all met in a
No.
tavern, and then somehow ended up here, and now we apparently can't leave, and we've been attacked by ghosts and tree creatures and
Oh, the blights. Yeah, I forgot about those.
druids and werewolves, and it's just been it's horrible. All of it's horrible, and I guess I don't know. Personally, I'm looking for sort of any sort of guidance on how to just not be in this place anymore. And I don't know. I guess when we found Madame Eva, her reading. I don't know. It's something about it just seemed like it was an answer or something. And now that we found you, it feels weird that, I mean, she knew our names before we even got there, and so I don't know, something about this just seems like maybe we should follow it. And the fact that we found you from this one card, and I just don't know. I don't know if I mean, we're told that the card sheds the light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. What battle, and how are you going to help us if this card is referring to you? That's what I want to know.
She kind of looks past you, kind of along the group up towards the front. You're not sure if she's looking at Garrison or Jareth or Abbott. Says, curious. Said a great. Sheds light.
I think you're cutting out.
You're cutting out.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me jump out and jump. Man, I hate Discord. So I don't know why it does that.
I don't know.
All right. Is it any better right now?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So she's mentioned something about light and darkness, and she's kind of looking up towards the front of your group. There's a great darkness over this land. The land itself and its master, they are one. And if this Madam Eva thinks that I might be able to help you, then I will stay close for now. To see if this is all not a, because it could be. This could just be a trap.
You said something
Uh,
about false information when I pulled that one card, which I didn't mean to. I'm pretty sure I pulled the miss card and I got the enchanter. What did you mean by that?
I say that Taraka decks have a mind of their own.
Oh no.
I do not know what this means. I am not a seer. I cannot read the cards in the same way, though I do know mostly what they mean.
Because you didn't believe in the heart of the cards, Bimothy.
I mean, I don't know. I did. I
Cards
mean,
have hearts?
I swear I pulled the other card, so I don't know. It's very strange. But I mean,
Just
at this point,
be wary.
okay.
He's good at that. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at just being scared of everything.
It's actually
Scared
very
of
handy.
everything.
Yeah, it's actually very handy. We measure how much danger we're in by the amounts of his insolent whining.
Yeah, I guess.
Timothy, you don't need to take that.
No, it's fine. You
I
know,
keep hoping he'll stand up for himself eventually.
I mean, I am standing up, but maybe not for myself.
Oh,
No, it's fine. I mean, I've never really had a reason to in my life to stand up for myself, so I'm fine. I'm used to it. Anyways,
This is a place where you cannot. Running will get you nowhere. There is
Oh,
nowhere to
that's-
hide.
that's kind of what I was hoping to do. I'm kind of best at running, so the fact that you've told this is you said this is extremely worried me.
Not true. I own a windmill.
What'd you say?
I said, not true. I own a windmill.
Oh, that's right. A windmill. Okay. She starts
Found
thinking
it.
that maybe all of you are crazy at this point.
he found a deed. It's
and
an
I
actual
own Durst
thing.
Manor now.
What was that from Jeff?
And I own Durst Manor now. I already know what I'm doing with it. I'm just gonna turn it into an embassy.
Sure, bring all your people here.
Oh no, 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 we don't. You don't.
Yes.
This is
Yes, you fall into my
after we've taken
plan.
care of-
Exactly.
yes, after we've taken care of this.
Yeah, Nazoth is the only one that should own land here. For everyone else, we should be trying to get the F out of here.
Leave Nazoth here.
Well, Nazoth,
I
it
mean,
just
he
fits
likes
Nazoth.
it.
He likes it, yeah. So, I mean, maybe it's just his like vacation. It's like his summer home. But that's very fitting for Nazoth's personality, whereas everyone else for
We don't like it.
Meanwhile, towards the front of the group, Riles, Garrison, Jareth, you're kind of like there's just two parts of this group. Occasionally, you can hear Nazoth kind of talking in the middle of the group, but mostly Esmeralda's kind of being quiet, kind of quietly talking to Gretchen and Bimothy. A little bit just out of earshot for the front of the. Are you asking the abbot any more questions or anything as you guys make your way down there?
I think that Garrison would be kind of talking with him, even not like prodding in a weird way, but just like, well, what else can you do if you can create her? Have you ever done anything like that before?
Yeah, is that how you
Oh yes.
make a
Oh,
living?
yes.
Okay, sorry.
I can. Well, speaking of living, yes, yes, I have powers over. I have always been blessed by the Morning Lord.
Gross.
And he just continues kind of walking down the hill, like that's no big deal to him.
Gotta say, pretty cool. How long have you been in here? The whole tower and everything.
Oh, decades now. Decades. There were a few Belleviews here, only a handful, when I first arrived. They have grown now to quite a number. But I continue to take care of them, and no one has. Well, I would hope that my flock would have grown beyond the Belleviews, but folks of Kresk, they are not very religious folk. I believe that, well, that they worry that the Lord of the Land is not a believer in the same gods that I am. They believe are frightened that they cannot believe as they will. But when they see the love in the eyes of the Count, when he sees Vasilka, and when that love pours through the land, then they will be coming, I'm sure, returning to the Abbey to pray at my side to the greatness of our Lord above. I'm going to bring you guys over to the crest.
What's retirement look like for an abbot? Do you ever just like get to travel, or do you just kind of stuck there forever?
Oh, I am here until the light returns, and then I will move on. It's my job here is. But I have patience. I will stay as long as it takes.
But let's just say you do accomplish it. Do you get to like retire, or you just have to go move on to another problem?
Oh, I would find another problem somewhere else to attend to. The multiverse has many problems, and many out there that call for the help. I am sure that I will be sent somewhere else to help the faith, just as I.
All right. Well, that sounds like a very devoted life. That's great.
So you guys are making your way down the hill here. You see that there's like this weird little area kind of right to the north here. You kind of pass by it. You noticed it when you were first kind of passing, like climbing the hill. But since you're asking, since you're asking the abbot about like his faith, where he's going to go, and basically you're asking him sort of religious and philosophical sort of question. He points down towards that little pond. He says, and you can see kind of under the skies here that there's this little pool here that shimmers and sparkles a little bit. It almost seems to there's like a piece to it that maybe you didn't notice before. You can also see that there's this old gazebo that kind of sits right on the shore of it. It looks like it's seen better days. Hasn't quite collapsed, but you don't think that it's much long for this world. You also see that there seems to be a statue or something in the gazebo itself with its arms kind of stretched out. You can see a little bit of it from above. And the abbot says, as you can see, the shrine down there long ago was built at the time of Saint Markovia to the Morning Lord. It waters. If you would go and visit it, you would see that the waters here, they defy corruption. There is still hope. And anyone that drinks from the waters there, they feel refreshed, restored in a way that that wine or laughter or even a good night's rest won't.
Oh.
If I had more servants, I would have them restore that sad gazebo and take care of of the pool and the shrine there, but alas, I cannot be everywhere. Something a little odd. Something that he points out to you guys. You didn't really notice. All right. We're going to bring you guys down into Kresk.
Wait, can somebody check this water, like the properties of it, or is it magical, or are we just bypassing this whole thing? Like, what is
It's
new?
like you can't really get there unless you have to get down into Kresk first and then back.
Okay.
So you're up on a cliff here when you're overlooking. You come
Yeah.
down like the road
You
here,
have to take the
and you're like a
path.
couple 100 feet above it when he points.
Okay,
So
I just wanted to make sure we weren't just like, okay, moving on. You know, like,
no, this is something that you might have to do. That if you want to check, you can either send somebody to go do that, but you have to get down to the bottom here first, and then head through the town all the way. Because otherwise, you'd be falling down there.
yeah. All right, we'll check it out at a later date.
Just something that he
Well,
points out that you guys hadn't noticed before. Something that he claims is like a proof of the holiness of the morning Lord still here. All right. Let me grab a couple more tokens here for them and put
Hey,
them on the map,
Mr.
so I know everybody that's here.
Mr. Abbott, does Lord Strahd worship the Morning Lord?
He stops for a moment and looks back. Sadly, no, he does not. But that is only because he does not know love in his heart. He will see the glory of the morning Lord when he has it. I have faith that he will.
Think when they get married, they'll have like a Morning Lord ceremony wedding, or is it going to be Strahd's kind of beliefs?
Well, I do not think that he has very much in the way of beliefs. I can only hope that he would come to me and that I could marry them in front of all
Hey,
of the commoners of Kresk and Barovia.
hey, Rob, out of character, do we know he's a vampire yet, or do we not have any idea?
Who's a vampire?
I'm asking out of character because I think everybody knows Strahd's the like Dracula or whatever, but do our characters know that yet? Or
I don't
I
think
don't
it's
know if
been
you guys, you know that there is a vampire in the lands. There's two notes that you guys, three notes I think that you guys have. One of them mentions that there was a vampire in the land that was terrorizing a woman by the name, I think. Let's go back to the notes real quick and try to sort this out because it's been a little while since this has come up.
yeah, I don't want to. Like, I could think of a couple jokes, but I don't know if my character knows he's like a vampire yet.
I don't think
Oh,
you
man.
guys, you don't know for certain. You
I
know
don't
that there is a vampire here because you guys, the first note that you found was from Kolian Indirovich, the burgomaster of the town of Barovia. You know that that is on the other, like it's in the other side of the valley. You guys came in basically through the west, and the village of Barovia is in the east. So you haven't been able to follow up on that, but the note here tells you that. Hold on a second. That the burgomaster of that village, that his adopted daughter Irina, has been bitten by a vampire, and he's basically telling people to give up this place for dead. That Barovia is beyond hope, and that seal off the borders and bid this place farewell. Once this evil runs its course, he believes that when the vampire runs out of people to eat or whatever, like that he'll die and that Barovia will be cleansed. It'll burn itself out. But that's just one letter. That's the only one that mentions a vampire. The other letter that you have that is actually from Strahd was left in the in Durst Manor. You guys found that there, and it was a letter just addressed to his servant. Didn't have a name to who it was. You don't know if that was one of the members of the Durst family or somebody else that was in the household. And that does not mention anything about a vampire, but that one's written by Strahd, and he sounds like a brutal guy who's like, you screwed up, suffer alone, is what that letter basically says. It says, you're cursed, your fortunes are gone, you abandon love for men. And it mentions something about the dark powers too. It says that I'm not sent by the dark powers of this land. It says he hasn't come to you. Says he's not going to lead this guy into like immortality or anything like that. So that one doesn't mention it. I don't think you guys know. You know that Strahd is dangerous. Everyone that has mentioned his name has said that you don't cross him in this land, but nobody has said that he's a vampire. So, to answer your question in a roundabout way, you don't know that yet. Out of character, you all know it.
Okay.
All right. All righty. Where the heck were we? Oh, I know. We're heading down into Crest. Oh, I was going to put tokens out there of the Abbot, Esmeralda. So let me know
And that's
who all.
I'd like to ask the abbot a question.
Go ahead.
As we pass this house here, did you help the gentleman who lived there with a wife as well?
Yeah, I'm sorry, where? You point off like to that house where you saw that guy and someone inside the house that had green eyes very much like Vasilka's, right? He looks at the house, he says, I do not. I have Vasilka is unique. I've spoken to no one
Because
here for quite some time.
I saw her before he shut the door, and she had a lot of resemblance to Vasilka.
Well, perhaps she was related to one of those that the great Lord sent into my hand. I mean, this is a small community. He says nothing more about that, just kind of continues walking like it's not of any concern to him. He just seems to think, well, it's probably someone's related. All right. Anything else?
Not really.
Okay. Let me switch up the music here a little bit. So you make your way back down into Kresk towards the Burgomaster's manor. Alrighty. This time, there are maybe a couple people that are out, but it seems like most of them are heading back to their homes. Evening is kind of as you make your way back down towards the gates to the Burgomaster's. This house, right down here. The abbot leads the way. He goes right up to the door as if like he knows exactly what he's doing. A couple of guards are over at the gate, kind of look up and see this procession, including the abbot, and like they're kind of whispering and like pointing, like as if they rarely ever see the abbot in town. Like this is an unusual event for them. When the door is answered, it's not answered by Baron Dimitri, who you'd met before. It's answered by a woman that maybe you can only assume is his wife. And she kind of blinks when she sees the abbot. She says, the abbot. And she kind of bows and doesn't quite know what to say. And the abbot says, good lady, yes, I have come here. I've heard of your tragedies. And he kind of steps like towards her, and she backs away like into the house, like out of his way. He doesn't really ask for like to be let in. He just assumes that she's going to let him in, and she just steps out of the way and he walks inside. The rest of you are kind of right out behind him. She kind of looks like at him and then like at the rest of your group as the abbot steps in. Your husband, the Baron Dimitri, is he here? And you can she says, oh, yes, he's in the study. One moment. And she kind of steps away and heads towards another part of the house as the abbot stands in like the foyer of their home, kind of just looking around. After a moment, the Baron kind of comes out with his wife kind of in tow. She seems to have kind of put herself back together pretty quickly after having been, confronting the abbot at her front door, and is now kind of standing a lot more stern and kind of watching not just the abbot but your group that has arrived. Baron Dimitri says, "Abbot, it's so nice for you to grace my home. I can't recall the last time that you came down to the village." And the abbot says, "Yes, yes, I have heard of your tragedy. I have heard passing of your children. Such a terrible thing to happen to anyone. Your last son, he was Ilya. Yes?" And Dimitri nods. "Yes, yes, we just buried him a few days ago." And the abbot says, "I believe these newcomers here, perhaps they are a sign from the Morning Lord. They told me of your plight. They told me the passing of your young son Ilya. And I believe that I can bring him back for you. Restore the Kreskov line so that it does not end here this year." And Dimitri's just staring at him with like big eyes. "You can bring him back? You can raise him from the dead?" And the abbot just nods gracefully. "Can. But we must collect his body. We must exhume him from that grave, and we must do it soon." He turns back to your group. "Do you have some strong arms in your group?" He kind of looks right past, not even checking.
I have arms.
And we'll need someone to recover Ilya, young Ilya. "I assume that he is buried in the family plot," he says to the Baron. The Baron says, "Yes, yes, in the back." And he leads the abbot and your group through the house and kind of out the back door where they have like a little bit of a garden there and like a bit of a backyard, probably more than some of the other folks do because this is a state. But there's, at the end of the yard, there's a little gate that goes down a little path into a private graveyard. You guys have seen these all over the place in Crest. And there is a fresh grave there, just waiting. The abbot gestures to Dimitri, "You gather some shovels if you would." And Dimitri is kind of like running over and trying to get some like tools to try to do that.
You should have brought my grave robbing kit.
Oh no.
What skill is defile grave?
What skill is defile grave?
Handiness and defile. Oh, I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. There is no skill for it. You just dig. Who wants to do it? Because Dimitri goes over there, but Dimitri he's maybe a little bit old and like kind of drunk and not doing a very good. He needs some help.
You can
I'll
do it.
help.
Nazaf will do it. He hasn't been to a good old grave digging in a while.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, guys.
Nazaf
I don't
just
have any
cracks.
hands.
Nazaf cracks his knuckles. Don't worry. I've done this a few times.
I'm with you, Naz.
All right, a couple of you go out to help, and as it's going to take a little bit of time for the grave to be dug up, and the abbot stands nearby, his head kind of bowed and in reverence, and you can hear him kind of whispering prayers to the Morning Lord this whole time.
Gonna
Seems like
dig
he's
me a
deep
hole,
concentration.
Gonna dig me a hole, gonna put an empty in it.
Abbott, look, you can have fresh parts.
The abbot sits. Yeah, he doesn't say anything. He doesn't even respond. It seems like he's kind of lost in thought. Dimitri works hard. He's sweating, kind of getting dirty. His wife is kind of standing at the doorway, looking on with kind of a curious look on her face. Those of you that are not digging, give me an
insight.
Famously insightful.
Oh,
God,
Timothy, look,
it
it's a
couldn't.
squirrel.
Garrison just happened to be looking that way somehow. I don't know.
Go Garrison.
Well, he can't dig because he can't hold a shovel, so he's just kind of like tooting around.
Just tape it to your arm.
You really need attachments, kind of like Captain Hook.
No, that would make
Or
me have
you need to
do
learn
more things.
telekinesis.
I have it too.
I was hoping I would get Mage Hand, but
All right.
I don't know if
Not as
Paycheck
good
gets
as you
it
think it
whole,
is.
but yeah.
Timothy's looking the other direction. Maybe he's over near the grave. Doesn't really notice. The
He's
burgomaster
just kind
why
of staring
standing
at
in the door.
thing in the grave. You know?
Yeah. She's watching on like she doesn't quite know what she's seeing. Like there's like this bit of like hope in her eyes, but also a bit of fear. She has not gotten involved in, but she seems to be kind of standing like the burgomaster was a mess. When you met that guy, he looks like he just drinks himself like half drunk. His wife doesn't quite look that way. Seems like she has gone kind of the other route, like being maybe busy and trying to put on a brave face in light of tragedy.
can Garrison approach her? Like,
Yeah, she's just right, but kind of at the back door.
so he'll kind of come up and like looking the same way she is, so kind of like talking to her as they're both watching this kind of scene. He's like, I noticed your husband is handling this differently than you are. What's your secret? How can you be so strong through this?
She just kind of sighs and says, what else can I do? All of my children now gone. And now, yet do I even dare to hope the abbot can bring one back? This she kind of whispers to you, many in Kresk believe that the abbot is in league with the count and the things that he does in the land. Many do not speak of it. They are afraid. I am afraid too, but I am afraid for other reasons.
I think we're all in the same boat as you are. This place is scary. But if this guy can help you, at least it'll be the first positive thing that he's done. Before we talked to him, he thought everything's been fine out here. I'm not exactly sure about his alignments with Strahd. He definitely seems to want to appease him. But is that what keeps him alive? It seems that anybody else that opposes this Strahd fellow seems to never come back. Or wind up, unfortunately, next to where your son is now.
She kind of looks around and says, it did occur to me that perhaps the loss of my children meant that the Baron was displeased with me. We have built these walls around Kresk and kept this place safe from his servants for a long time. And even though we always felt, at least I did, perhaps there was always a wolf in the walls with us. I don't know. I don't know what to do or to think.
I understand. I feel the same way. It's like this guy could be helpful, but it seems wrong.
There are people that die all the time, Kresk. You perhaps have noticed the graves behind houses. He points to the neighbor's house, and they have like a graveyard as well, and you can kind of see a little bit of another one a little bit further into the woods to the next. And you saw one behind some other houses too.
They're everywhere, though. Isn't it too many? I understand that people die. I know.
I thought that was a selling point.
I know plenty of death, but it just doesn't seem right. Even for parents to outlive their children. And for so many, it's not natural. There's something wrong here, and you feel it. We all feel it, but it seems that any kind of resistance to it is met with lethality.
Exactly. And all these graves, and yet the abbot has never come down. to bring others. I understand that we hold a position here in Kresk. Why is he doing that? Why is he doing this for us? Why hasn't he done it for others if he has this ability?
I don't know. I asked him to come down here, and he did. I know he's looking for something from you.
Something from us. What? What is the price of this?
If you can just keep your cool, I'll tell you. Try not to raise your voice. I don't want to make a disturbance, and I'm not sure if it's my place to ask, but I'll be honest with you because you've been honest with me. He's here for your wedding dress, if you still have it.
Kind of gives you a sharp look. My wedding dress?
It's a strange thought that he has, but when I said I think he's trying to appease the Lord, he's built a bride for her.
Oh boy.
Somehow. Maybe doing the same thing that he's done with your son here. But he plans to present this bride in your dress in order to possibly make the Count happy again. You understand love, at least you have a husband, you've fostered children. He's hoping that that connection might break this place free. I'm not sure.
She kind of looks from you to like the abbot and them digging up this grave. At this point, they've dug down enough that they have gotten to, because the earth is still somewhat soft. It's been less than a week, and they start pulling out this body. It's not even in like a not in a coffin. It's just wrapped up, and they're Nazoth, I think, is probably pulling it out. Right, Dimitri trying to help. And the abbot kind of has looked up at this point, and then he says, "Let's bring him inside, clean him up, have him return to this world ready and cleansed." And Dimitri struggles to bring the body of his child back inside. Anna, meanwhile, like she was about to say something to you, and then she kind of closes her mouth as the body is brought into the house and laid out on like the kitchen table. She goes quickly to the kitchen, pulls out like a couple of pots, fills some things with water to start basically bathing the body, cleaning it, pulling the wraps off. The abbot stands at the foot of this table as the body lies there, and Dimitri kind of has slumped into a chair, and like his hands are like he's picked up this bottle and is just drinking straight out of it, and is looking like he's getting maybe even drunk. I'm assuming you're all just kind of watching at this point?
Yeah, I think we'd come in, maybe, but stay to the walls, like not get in the way, but I think I'd want to see what's going to happen here, especially if he's going to let us see it.
Yeah, no, he doesn't seem to kick anybody out. He stands there right there just praying like over the body of this boy. Once the wraps are undone, you can see that the corpse is very pale, bruised, maybe a little bit bug-eaten. And it's kind of disturbing to see it. Like they didn't have like, they didn't embalm this body or anything like that. They just buried it.
No gentle repose.
Nope, no gentle repose or anything like that. So this has been like a week in the ground.
Aggressive repose?
Aggressive repose? No. But once the wraps have been removed, the abbot has kind of been praying at the foot of this boy for a while. He steps forward, kind of around his head, and he places both of his hands on like the sides of the head of this child, and he starts reciting a prayer to the Morning Lord. Anybody that has religion knows that this is a real prayer. It's not necessarily spellcast. If anybody wants to roll Arcana or religion, go ahead and do so.
Oh my god. I'll try Arcana since my. Yeah.
All right. None of you have ever seen anybody like raise anybody from the dead. You've never seen the spell cast. You don't know that much about it. You don't know how it's supposed to work. But you know that priests are the ones that typically have it, and this guy does all the things that you would expect a priest to do, saying prayers and laying on hands, things like that. He does this for about 10 minutes. I think that's how long this thing takes. Hold on. Nope, takes an hour. For an hour, he's saying these prayers over this body as Anna is kind of standing by, stone-faced, kind of almost afraid to move, and Dimitri is just getting bleary-eyed, watching. And the rest of you probably, what do you do for like a whole hour? Like this spell, like this guy is casting this spell. You all just stand there kind of waiting and watching? And do you have the patience for this? What do you do?
Can I go to the pond?
Um,
Since we have an hour?
Well, you don't know how long this is going to take.
Yeah.
It takes an hour, but you don't know much about this spell. You don't know how long it's going to take. I was wondering
is it
if you're doing anything in the house, like, well, this is
Abbott,
10 minutes
what do you-
past,
what
20
do you-
minutes.
Abbott, how long?
He does not answer.
Damn it.
What about if we
I-
ask Esmeralda? She might know.
Let's see.
What do
Gretchen will start praying to
sorry.
Kelimvor. If something evil's happening, maybe he'll stop it.
Kellenvor would absolutely hate what's about to. This guy trying to bring back, I think.
I think raising the dead can be okay. It just depends on the situation.
It can. Raising the dead is fine for Kellenvor. It's raising undead is a problem. Or raising the dead like many times, like avoiding death, like multiple times, then you have to get sort of.
But
But
this was a
Kellenvor's fine.
tragic death. I think it would be fine.
Yeah, this is like a soul taken soon type of.
Yeah, this person shouldn't have died. They died anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what killed them, like if it was a natural disease or something else, but it definitely seems like a tragedy. And like you've heard of Kellenvor, like priests of Kellenvor raising the dead before. It's something that's done. They don't avoid it. They do in certain situations. This, at least the story you've been told, this seems to be okay. Do you ask Esmeralda about this spell? Does Jareth ask?
Esmeralda, yeah.
So you step over and you ask her, like, what do you know about this spell? And she says, this is a strange way of this spell. Normally, it requires a sacrifice. Very powerful, expensive jewel. I do not see that the abbot has one.
How long does it take?
Upwards of an hour.
All right. I'm gonna go for a walk.
All right.
Anyone
This has
wanna
maybe
join?
been like 20, 30 minutes. So you have
Where
about.
you're going, Jared?
Going to the pond. Gretchen, what do you think?
Gretchen's busy. She's
Yes.
deep in prayer.
I'll just hang out here and watch. I want to see this thing come back as a zombie. I'm hoping he does.
I'll go with you if you want. Carson. Oh,
All right.
Gareth, you going for a walk? I'm pretty restless.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to check out that pond, and we still have another half an hour-ish before he's done.
All right, I'll come. It seems like they've got this under control. Riles, you want to tag along?
No, this is a serious moment. Rouse is going to be very serious. And he's like, Rouse is walking around being serious, but he's just waiting until, like, at the least expecting time, he can drop one of his jokes. And
Oh no.
Oh no.
they're all just like necromancer dad jokes. So they're like,
That's gonna be awesome.
yeah, you know why necromancers can't write music? They only know how to decompose.
Hey,
Oh.
that means they can break it down.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
That's good.
That's a good tag. What do dairy necromancers do? They churn
do
the
they do?
undead.
Oh.
Nice. This was good for you. The spiritual moment was good for you.
Is Riles just in the corner of the room, like just telling these jokes to himself?
I
or
think
what?
he's like walking like to each person, and just like waiting
Oh.
until like a moment of silence, and then he's just like says his one-liner and then walks away to the next person.
Just whispers in because it's rude to like laugh at a funeral. So he just, like, whispers
Exactly.
and walks away.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
a game he plays. Like,
He's trying to like Norm Macdonald this funeral. Exactly. Yeah.
Does anybody laugh at Riles' joke, or does anybody?
Yeah.
Does anybody
Maybe
threaten
let
with a
me
laugh?
do. Can I do a performance check to see if they can even deny
Sure.
laughing?
I think. Well, Gretchen, I think, or like, or at least Liz laughed.
Yeah.
If you want to roll like a wisdom saving throw to like
Let's
not
figure this out.
chuckle, you can.
Ooh, try to beat a 23. Let's go.
Oh my word!
Rouse is on fire.
You
Riles,
inappropriately laugh.
Not the time.
Yeah. Riles cartwheels
Do
away.
you have any more?
No, I do clerics. Clerics and chainmail. What's the deal with clerics and chainmail? It's all that holy armor. At this point, he's just like his head's too big. His
I wear
deep in the
scale.
B list.
he's got a total captive crowd here.
I look down at my armor. I wear scale.
What are you, a lizard? Okay, all right. So we get Riles out of here.
I don't know. I don't think there's anybody here to drag Riles out, except for maybe Esmeralda, who I think does this at one point. Like when Riles, when you come up to Esmeralda, she just gives you like this stare and like grabs you by like the collar and drags you outside.
All right. Not the joking crowd. Okay, all right. No, different crowd.
All right, so Garrison and Jareth, you're heading up the road, but actually, there's a thing here that Esmeralda's gonna like that she wants with Riles. She takes this as an excuse to kind of like drag you outside. You realize that she's not really kind of mad at you. You kind of see like a little bit of like a grin on her face, like as she gets you out the back. And she says, although that was very inappropriate, I was almost threatened with laughing myself. This gives me hope that perhaps you are not evil people.
Oh,
Although that one that you follow, the one that dug the grave so evil. What is his? She's talking about Nazoth.
Nazoth? Oh, Nazi. Oh, Nazi.
Keep your
Naz.
voice down. This is no longer joking.
Oh, Nazoth. He's
What?
he's
Someone's
fine.
talking about me?
Garrison's the only asshole. I mean, he's not evil, but he's Nazoth. No, Nazoth's not evil. Wait, is he? Now Rouse is like asking him. He's like,
Wait, is he? That's a good question.
oh. He gave me something to think about. I don't know if I'd say I follow him either. We've all known each other 4 or 5 days.
4 or 5 days. Now that Nazoth has made a whole bunch of like jokes, but I don't think he hasn't done anything like straight up.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything evil.
He has a really dark sense of humor.
Yeah,
Or he might
which
be.
Rouse likes. Rouse is all about. Rouse is a big fan.
Evil
So is
adjacent.
Lucky. But
She starts kind of grilling you on the rest of the people in the group, though, like asking like what you know about them. Can they be trusted? Like she tells you at one point, I'm trusting you right now because I think that
Just for
you
for
are pure
con-
of heart.
for context, Nazoth is he's an asshole. He's just not cruel.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That reads entirely like
Mhm.
he's just being funny. It's for the bit. You can tell.
Well, until he starts raising undead, then we'll see what happens.
He's
Or summoning
he-
demons.
he's selfish, greedy, and unsympathetic, but he won't do anything outright cruel or evil, like sacrifice a child or something like that.
Totally.
Your patron, however, we might be worse.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's my patron being an alternate version of myself is just, you got to have an evil twin, and which one's the evil twin? That's the thing. If I'm the good twin, it's
Oh no.
This bad cop and really bad cop. Just you haven't gone far enough down that road. But that's what Esmeralda's doing. She's basically gathering the things that friends after here are getting. She's using this time to kind of get, and she'll tell you that she doesn't quite trust the abbot. When that boy wakes up, be ready. There is something very wrong.
Yeah, Riles doesn't trust the abbot either. He doesn't like his Frankenstein wife. But also I don't think anyone's given Riles any reason to hide anything. I think Riles is just going to be an open book about it and be like, "Oh yeah, Bimothy, he's a pussy. He's sweet, but he's pussy." Gretchen's goody two shoes. Nazoth, an a-hole, but not cruel. A fun a-hole. Every group needs that a-hole there. Garrison, the less fun kind, but he doesn't have hands, so someone's got to help him. And Jareth, well, he's the posh little prince that we carry around to pay our bills eventually. That's no one. Riles doesn't have any reason to hide anything. I don't think anyone said anything. Yeah.
Okay. Then she pretty much, unless is there, and you said there's nothing to hide, so she asks a lot of questions and learns a lot about your group during the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, she gets the
during this
context.
time-
Yeah, Garrison beat my ass.
Oops.
I fucking died.
Yeah, I
I died,
blacked
bro.
out, came back.
That's the
Okay.
best part about Jareth, though.
Oh, which is?
What's
You
that?
can turn into animals.
Yeah.
Oh, that all that would have come in. We're assuming that she asks 20 questions. So Ryle's not holding anything back.
Yeah, I don't think.
Chances are she knows pretty much everything about him.
Mm-hmm. He's like, Jareth's underwear is this color. He wakes up to pee at this time.
Oh,
even though
you
he
know what
doesn't,
color it is.
Oh yeah, I do. We've been traveling together for 5 days at this point. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Honestly, what color do you think it is?
I'm
Everybody's
going
underwear is
teal.
brown by this point.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, we got the brown pants.
Garrison
It's-
doesn't wear underwear.
It's
Nice.
golden orange.
Golden
Golden.
orange.
Golden panty.
Yeah, gold and orange striped underwear. It's the flag.
Not, not striped.
It's the flag of Elysium.
Kind of like a merge of those, like a goldish orange.
That'd be
you know what I mean?
copper.
All right. Okay.
Okay, sure.
No, I was joking. That'd be funny if it was the flag. All right, Jareth and Garrison. Seriously though,
well-
you guys are heading off up the road. Are you trying to get to the? You going to this weird little shrine
The
area?
pond.
To the pond.
Yeah, I'm just following Jareth, being his bodyguard, and just happy to not be. I think Garrison has a hard time sitting still for that long.
All right. Most of the people have kind of gone back to their homes at this point. There's a few that have kind of they're looking out their windows nearby. That you don't think this place. This is not like a rumor mill place where people have run to their neighbors to tell them the abbot is doing something over at the burgomaster's house. Only those that were nearby seem to know this, but know what's going on over there. And there are a lot of eyes out windows over there. But once you get out of eyesight of the main square there, and you're back over, I don't know, over here, heading towards the this little pond, it gets quiet, and there's nobody kind of looking out their windows. Eerily quiet. You see the silhouette of a guard up on the wall when you get close to the pool. And I'll just put him
Nothing's
there
going
so you
on
know.
over here.
No, there's just a guard over here, right there. They walk the wall. Each part of Kresk, there's a little watch house here. So this guy kind of walks the wall and stop. He's got his where he kind of goes just kind of marching back and forth. And there's another guard kind of the south that you would have noticed doing this. They're all at the corners. All right. When you get to the pool, let's go to the pool. Not there. The shrine, pool and shrine. When you get to the pool, you can see that there's this little gazebo, like right here. You couldn't really see into it very well. You could see like there was a statue in there with see kind of the arms sticking out a little bit. But now you're down here, you can see that it's a bare-chested man. The paint is kind of chipped and faded. It stands in the gazebo with his arms outstretched as though waiting to be embraced. This pool seems to be like, Jared, you're a druid. You know kind of how these things kind of function. This has got to be fed by some sort of underground spring. It doesn't. This is not a kind of pool that's filled with rainwater. You can see a little bit of a ripple in it, even though there's like kind of no wind right now. There's still kind of snow around here, but it's not cold enough that the pool is frozen. And the edges, like the snow kind of melts away from it, gives you the feeling that the pool is probably warmer than the ambient temperature around, keeping the snow and the ice from it. What do you want to do? Now that you are here, doesn't seem to be anybody around.
Check out the statues or any markings or words.
No markings or words. Do you have religion?
Not yet.
Does Garrison? You know what? Roll. You can roll it anyway, and you can roll with advantage, both of you, if you want.
Whoa, we can roll untrained religies.
Yes, you can, and there's a reason for it.
And you said advantage, wow.
Yeah, religion.
Garrison will close his eyes, try to experience what's going on around him.
Both of you see that there are a couple of you didn't roll great, but this is pretty obvious. And the reason so is that there's some symbols around the base of this statue of the sun, and you realize this must represent the morning, just like that sun symbol up in the abbey above. The abbot had told you that this was a shrine to the Morning Lord, and this has the symbols that seem to indicate that that is true, and that the statue itself must represent him. I don't know if that is important at all, but it just seems as if the abbot has not lied to you about it or led you astray. He's also told you that the pool is somewhat magical. I don't know if you have a way to test that.
Garrison will. Is it
in front of it?
Yeah. Does it seem rude to go in the pool? Are there signs that are like, "Do not go in this pool"?
They have
like,
the pool? No
yeah,
signs.
like, don't dive in the fountain, kind of
No.
stuff.
No.
How Garrison would like to scoop some in his hand and like put, or he
What
doesn't
hand?
have.
Scoops him in his what? In his what?
Yeah, Garrison, how deep is it?
The fuck are you
The
talking
water,
about?
Right?
Wait, I gotta watch this.
How deep is it? Can he walk in?
You could walk in. Let me see. It's probably, you're guessing just by the size of the pool that maybe at the center it's swimmable. I think each one of these hexes here, or the squares, is 20 feet.
As long as it can
No,
be
50
waist
feet. So
height.
hold on.
He wants to be able to get his
Would
like
you like
thigh
me to
wet.
spoon some in your mouth?
No, I want to get it on my thigh. So if you would want to splash it on me, or I could walk in up to
Yeah.
my leg. Whatever.
No. I'll splash it and then I'm gonna cup some in my mouth.
The pool itself is about 100 feet across the long way and like 50 feet the short way. So it's pretty big. You can easily get it if you want. You step in, you splash some of it on you. It's like crystal clear, clean. And dirt just comes off of you when you're in it. Any scratches that you might have, like even like little bruises or scratches, seem to be soothed by this water. Was Garrison trying to drink it?
No,
I was.
yeah. Jareth
Okay.
is trying to drink it. Garrison wants to get it in his wound.
Oh,
All right.
boy.
When you splash some of it in the wound, like you kind of maybe you step in and like crouch down so it gets like on your leg, whatnot. It fizzes a little bit, almost like it's trying to do something, but the wound is still there. Jareth, you drink some of this and you feel refreshed. Can you cast Lesser Restoration? Does Jareth have that spell yet?
No. Let me just double check what's in my notes stuff.
Do you have any conditions? Does Jareth have any conditions that I'm unaware?
No.
There is some sort of magical effect to this, but neither of you feel anything different. Garrison, you don't know if you've been cured by bathing your wound in this pool or not.
Oh yes, I have it. It's just not prepared. So
Yeah,
I know
it's
what
a
it
second
is.
level spell.
You feel like this is probably a thing that does like a lesser restoration, which means it's probably not strong enough to remove a curse like the one that's on Garrison. You want to break the bad news to him?
It looks like we need something a bit more powerful to help you out there, buddy. I feel like we need something a bit greater than what I have
Rather than
and what
lesser.
the water has. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, do you have anything that could like collect it? You know, empty my water skin here. Maybe fill it with that. We could bring it with us.
Yeah, I've got a canteen. You want to fill our canteens?
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
All right. I fill both our canteens with the water.
All right. You do so. Jareth, you know, you've probably encountered like magical pools and stuff like that before, being a druid from your land. Typically, if some place is holy, that power is kind of, it doesn't go wherever you take like stuff. Like you would
Right.
kind of know, being like, the water might be clean and not, you know, totally fine to drink, but you don't think that the power is going to come with it.
Well, clean water for later.
Hmm?
If anybody else wants the benefits, they'll have to come walk over here as well.
Yeah.
That's what I say to Gareth. Just said. Don't worry, buddy.
Amazing.
We'll find something greater for you down the road.
It's just amazing. Look around here. This, everywhere else is tainted, and this spot is still pristine. If only we could push this out further and further.
Well, we could always do the old, I forget what the term is, but when you're doing agricultural stuff and you draw the little lines in the sand and the water reaches out.
What was it?
Anybody
Hydroponic
you
farming.
know what I'm talking about? Is that the term?
Irrigation? What?
I'm thinking. Okay, you
Zen
know the
garden?
movie Prince of King of Dreams. DreamWorks
heard of it.
movie.
I don't remember. I don't think I know this one. What are you trying to do again?
It's Joseph. I think it's based on Joseph and the Technicolor coat.
Okay.
So
Wait.
he has the dream about the 7 years of prosperity and 7 years of famine. And
Yeah,
they
yeah,
have a
that
whole
sounds like.
scene where they
Mhm.
cut out the different things in the fields and then release the water.
Oh, I
That's
think
what I'm
that has to do with irrigation. That's when
Okay.
you create like
Then that's-
furrows in the ground and you dam them up so that like you can basically water a field.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe if we could do that with the water in the pond, we might make the rest of this place better.
It would be a long way to go, a lot of furrows to draw, and you don't know how much water comes into this. That's a project that would probably take a year to try to irrigate this place. And
I
it
don't
does seem like it gets like water and like, you know, through snow and rain and stuff like that. Like there are trees that are growing here. You've seen that these people, they all have gardens, almost every house. You've also noticed that they plant trees here as well. There's small trees, and then there are lots of tree stumps that have been cut down. It seems as if these people, like, they are already like druid. As a druid, Jareth, you should almost be kind of impressed with how Kresk has even though it's isolated, it's managed to find a balance, at least with the number of people they have here in this. Seems as if they don't need to go beyond the walls for very much. They've found a balance in nature, mostly because they're terrified of going outside the wall. They didn't do it for the goodness of being a druid. They did it because they didn't want to leave town. But they learned and they've figured it out. You don't know how long they can sustain this here, but they have they have their own sort of micro eco. What am I gonna call it? They have their own economy that's inside the walls, and they have their own ecosystem too.
Okay.
It helps that there's not a whole lot of people here too. You can see that there's only like a dozen.
Did we thoroughly check the gazebo?
You did. Doesn't seem to be anything. The only other thing about the gazebo is the abbot had said that it was pretty fragile, and you can see that too. Like if it's kind of sheltered from like harsh wind and weather because of trees around it and the cliffs that go up to the abbey. But like this, it wouldn't take much for this thing to fall over.
I attack.
You think it's got a couple years, maybe, or what was that?
Oh.
It's an old D&D joke. I attack the gazebo.
I love this
No.
joke. I love this joke.
That's right. I forgot about that. Is a joke. I just heard that joke again the other day.
Yeah. And we
Gazebo.
told Jareth about it way back.
Yeah.
Yep.
You attacked the
Back
gazebo?
in my
Why?
first campaign.
I shoot it with my bow. Okay, you shoot it with your bow. There is now a gazebo with an arrow in it.
I'll bet you they were playing Curse of Strahd. So that's it. You find nothing else here. Like this gazebo is going to fall over at some point unless somebody kind of fixes it up. You've tested out the waters here. You realize that they are holy, and that's it. Nobody else is around here. You find nothing hidden in the gazebo or in the pond. Although you didn't really go like swimming around in there. And it's kind of big. Like I said, it's 100 feet across, long ways, and 50 the other way. You're gonna head back to the Burgomaster's?
Garrison, do you think I should strip down to my trunks and go for a swim and see where the spring begins?
If that's what nature inspires you to do,
Hmm.
I'll turn the other way.
I'm honestly getting that urge. Like, I wonder where the spring comes from.
You
Yeah.
probably don't want to do it by stripping down. It's very, like I said, there's snow out here. You're gonna get very cold.
I think it'll bring you closer. I'll take guard. You take your clothes off. I'll watch this way, and you let me know when you're
Okay,
done.
so I'll take off my cloak, my overshirt, and my pants.
It's kind of
But
surprised
I'm
you're not
still-
just wild shaping. I guess you're trying to save those.
I mean, honestly, yeah. But then again, I could become some aquatic animal.
Fish.
Hang
You can
on,
swim it too. Doesn't matter. Let's say that you're. Sounds like you're trying to save that ability. So, and you dip down and you're cold for a little bit, but once you get into the pool itself, the pool is much warmer. I wouldn't say like warm, but you're not going to freeze. As long as you're in the pool, you'll be all right. And assume that your character can swim, and you kind of paddle out and dive down and start looking around. You can find that the spring starts on the eastern side, kind of near the mountain. But there's no like cave or anything that you can kind of squeeze into. It just seems to be seeping out of the rock at the bottom. You swim around this whole thing, and you don't find anything else in the pool itself that seems to be hidden here.
So if I go underwater, I don't see anything coming.
Nope.
Oh.
You've now searched the pond, and you are starting to run short on time.
Alrighty, well, I'd better get out and get dressed.
All right, Garrison and Jareth heading back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you throw your clothes on and you head back through town. A little soggy, but not too bad. When you arrive back at the burgomaster's house, the abbot is still standing there at the head of the table, still whispering prayers to the morning lord. But you're right about on time, because others, like at this point, Riles, you and Esmeralda have headed back inside as well. He's kind of also figuring that should be wrapping. You all watch as the ritual completes, and this glow starts emanating not just from the abbot's hands, but like his whole body seems to give off this sort of almost like a light spell type of. And it it grows brighter and brighter, and then you see that glow seep down into the body of this boy. And as you watch, all the wounds, bruises, signs of decay start going away. Like this holy light is just burning them. And as the last of them vanish, the boy's eyes suddenly snap open wide. You can see like a kind of a glow in his eyes as well. He looks startled, staring at the ceiling. Then he opens his mouth and he lets out this scream that just penetrates to your bone. It's like the most tortured cry you've ever heard. And everybody in the room, like the mother, like kind of shouts out like the boy's name, Ilya! And the father, Dmitri, kind of tries to stand up from his chair and almost falls over. The abbot is still holding his hands on the boy, and the light is still shining. And he says, "It is just the soul returning. It is distressed. It is distressed, but he will heal. Ah, morning Lord, give your power to this child. Bring them back to the world of the living, so they may pass on their birthright to those ancestors that would come after them, to their descendants." And the boy like screams for like a minute straight, like during this whole thing as the abbot is like finishing off this spell. And then eventually he kind of goes limp, and his eyes close, and he kind of collapses back on the table. His body was shaking there for kind of a moment. And then when the light fades, you can see that he's breathing. His eyes are slightly open a little bit, kind of looking off in the direction of his mother. And he just kind of whimpers, "Mama, Mama." And the Baroness moves in close to grab him and hug him. He seems to be alive. And the abbot kind of steps back, the look of peace on his face.
I'll be damned.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Timothy puts away his sword that he drew when the kids started screaming.
Just putting it away.
The whole when he started screaming, he immediately drew his sword in fear and was just like pointing it at him. And then the moment, like when he kind of calmed down, he just kind of put it down.
It's okay, Timothy.
Okay.
The Baroness just is kind of weeping and clutching her child to her. The Baron comes over, does his best to sort of comfort them as well, but seems in shock. The abbot says, "Well, our work here is almost done. Lady Anna Kreskova, I have a request of you." And she looks up, and kind of her eyes dart over towards Garrison, because you had broached this conversation with her before about what the abbot was going to have. And the abbot says, "When you were married, I imagine that you wore a fine dress that day with your husband. I myself, I am in need of such a dress. Can you fetch it for me?" And the Baroness slowly shakes her head and says, "When my last child died, I burned that dress." And the abbot says, "Oh dear, oh dear. But the Baroness says, I think I can get you one. I think I can find one. In Vallaki, there is a dressmaker there that I could talk to and have one commissioned." And the abbot says, "Good. good. Yes, use your connections in Vallaki. I will give you a month to procure it. And he turns and starts to walk out the door, as if the whole conversation and the deal is done.
Oh my word.
Casually
gets-
raises something, refuses to elaborate, leaves.
Yeah, refuses to elaborate. Although he does say once he gets to the door, he kind of turns and he looks back at them, and he says, "Do not disappoint." And then he smiles, turns, and steps outside, starts heading back towards the abbey, not waiting for any of you to accompany him. Question.
Oh my word.
We're all like in shock that this just like happened in front of us. Like, I
Mhm.
feel like Garrison's jaw is just like hanging. Like, what?
Abbott's got power. Brought this boy back. He was dead. You all saw it. He was buried, and he's breathing now and clutching his parent.
Yeah, I'm going to be 100% honest, guys. I thought for sure we were going to have a class 3 zombie on our hands.
Yeah. Same.
It's not undead. I don't think.
It is. He's the most convincing undead I've ever seen. And if that's the case, teach me.
What do you guys do?
I'm not sure. What's our goal right now?
I don't know if you have one other than to like recover from shock.
Yeah.
Well, we need to get a dress still.
Yeah.
Well, I thought
as
we
you-
took care of that. He's coming in a month.
Well, you're talking about this Dreth, and how you think it's settled, and the Baroness Anna, who is Dimitri's wife, she looks towards you and she kind of says, I have not left Kresk in a long time, and the road is dangerous to Vallaki. You people, you've already done something for this town. Would you be willing to do something more? Perhaps for some sort of greater reward.
We have business in Vallaki anyway.
We will
Yeah.
happily help you. Everyone in this town has been helpful to us except for the guards outside. But it makes sense.
She says, I will make sure that you have money for whatever it needs for this, whatever it takes. Thank you. Thank you so much. You brought the abbot here. You told him of our plight. Our son has been returned. Praise the morning lord. And Dimitri is like, praise the morning lord. The boy, by the way, is still just kind of weeping in the arm and looks a little wild-eyed and confused. But he does seem to be at least able to talk. He doesn't seem to be a zombie. He does kind of like ask his parents like what has happened and like who. He doesn't even know who the abbot. He doesn't know who anybody is. He's like, who are all these people? Like, why am I here on the table? Like all that stuff. And they're just trying to come, telling him that he just was asleep for a few days, and the abbot came and cured him.
We wish you the best, and if you have any leads on that dress, you keep us posted, okay?
She has an idea. Let me tell.
Yeah. She said there was a dressmaker?
Hold on a second. She says that there is a hold on a second. There's a dressmaker. She says there's local dressmakers in Vallaki, and that she's planning to go to them and talk to them, find one of them, and she gives you a couple names. I don't have them here right now, but I will make up a couple, and she says that if you're going to be going there, she'll give you 200 gold. She expects the dress might only cost 50. but this should cover whatever it is they need. They need to expedite it to get it done in short order, because making a dress is not something that's quickly done. Then we will. She says that this should be enough.
Okay. We do need to get to that place and our own business, plus this, and back within a month, so we can't dilly-dally too long. I appreciate your faith in us. And although things seem very strange, including that gentleman, he's only been helpful to us, so hopefully continues to be.
I'm very helpful.
Yeah.
When you say that, gentleman, you're talking about the abbot?
Yeah. You are helpful, but not you.
It is evening time at this point, and it's not wise to travel the roads in the dark of night, as Esmeralda tells you. Plus, I still have some things up at the abbey that I must recover. So, leaving immediately, I do not think is going to happen. At least I will not be leaving. If you want me to go with you. Nor would I be traveling with you at night if I could avoid it.
So we'll leave
You
in
should
the
stay with
morning.
me at the abbey. The room that I'm in is large enough for all of us.
Oh, that's very kind.
The Baroness, by the way, also says, "Oh, you can stay here. We have extra rooms as well." You have two options: stay with the Baron and the Baroness and their resurrected son, or you can stay at the abbey with Esmeralda, or you can divide and conquer. Or
I'm going back to the
Die.
Abbey.
I didn't conquer
last
sleeping.
night.
Yeah. Fucking
Gareth,
no,
meaning you can split the party and I'll die.
I want to sleep in the Burgermaster's house. That feels better than sleeping in that crazy ass tower with the crazies.
Oh no.
Yeah, Timothy's gonna go with Esmeralda.
Yep. I'm
Same.
gonna try to get in a couple more lessons with Vasilka before bed.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Let's split the party. I'm gonna put Esmeralda and Jareth,
I'm going to the abbot. Yeah, I'm not
Timothy,
sleeping.
and Garrison is staying down here. What about Riles and Neza? Riles is going up to the abbey.
Yeah. Riles is
I'll
going
head to the abbey.
up with
If Garrison's
Esmeralda.
staying, I'll stay. I changed my mind. Oh man.
What are you talking about?
Garrison,
That's
Get
about
our
why
own
can't
room.
Garrison
That's
come?
all alone.
What? Nah,
Yeah.
guys, why would you want to stay there when we can stay here?
That is a convincing point, I guess.
We don't have to walk back over there. These people own this whole town. They've invited us to have our own rooms. I don't want to sleep at the abbot. It scares me.
Yeah, but this place scares me too. We just watched a kid come back
Alright,
to
well,
life.
that's fine. You can go sleep there. I think it's good if we divide, just in case something bad happens. It only happens to half of us.
Oh.
That was really convincing. Riles is back. He stayed very close to Garrison. All right, buddy. Maybe we've got a good point here.
I mean, what's the worst thing that happens? We have to kill a kid. Come on.
We've done that like a dozen
Garrison.
times.
Oh my god.
He
No one's
whispered
hurting the
that.
child.
That was a joke.
He
That was a
whispered that to
joke.
Riles.
Okay.
No,
No.
it was serious. It was just to Rouse.
I was serious. I just didn't want anyone else to hear.
All right, is this the split? Is Bimothy still going up to the abbey?
Yeah.
So Bimothy, Jareth, and Esmeralda are up the abbey. Looks like everybody else is down at the Bergman.
Is Nazoth sane? I thought.
Oh, where is Nazoth going? That's a good question.
I'm on. I guess I'll just sleep at the Burgermaster's house. You know, royalty.
There we go.
Royalty.
Now you're seeing it.
There was a really huge graveyard north of
No necromancy.
No necromancy. All right. Okay. Jareth, when you get up to the abbey again, the abbot has kind of retired, and Vasilka is nowhere to be found. He's not in the main area. The abbot himself seems to he's not here either. When you go looking for him, I put his token up here, but you don't find him.
I'll ask. What's his face?
Siegfried?
Thank you.
Siegfried is up there. There's also let me grab both of them because they are sort of like your liaisons. There's Otto, and then there's Siegfried.
Yeah, I'll ask Siegfried where Vasilka is. I want to finish a couple lessons before bed.
Oh no, she has retired with the abbot for the night. You will not see them until the morning.
All right. Well, if you can send me a room, maybe be close to Esmeralda, I don't mind.
Esmeralda's already offered you basically a spot in her.
All right.
And she tells you that's the only room that she understands is available. And she was told by the abbot not to wander too far because some of the Bellevues are unstable. Esmeralda doesn't know exactly what that means, but she's on her own and has decided not to test that theory, to explore. But
That place sucks.
if Jareth wants to explore,
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You know, it's hell, Bimothy ain't exploring any of it.
10-foot paladin. Sorry,
I am
Druid,
not a
10-foot
paladin this
druid.
time. I'm a
10-foot druid.
You want to be the 10-foot paladin, Gretchen?
You're the 10-foot
Go
druid.
ahead.
No, I'm good.
One day, the 10-foot paladin will come back for real.
All right,
Not
so
today.
there is actually one thing that happens as Jareth is led up. Jareth and Bimothy are led up. Both of you can see in the dark, right?
No.
Uh-huh.
Bimothy cannot,
well,
but
then-
Jareth definitely can. So
Yeah.
let's square some people away. Grab all those that are not here and move them up north. Riles, Nazoth,
Yeah,
Gretchen.
just stick with me, Bimothy. You'll be fine.
Okay.
What are we doing while the party's dying?
The party's dying. Wow,
That's a good
that
question.
is-
That's a very good question.
We're chilling hard. Garrison has his boots off.
Yeah.
He's probably having like a nice glass of whiskey that someone is
Yeah, it
hopefully.
takes
I'll examine the child if they'll let me. And
it takes Jareth and Bimothy and Esmeralda probably 15 minutes to climb to the hill to get to. So there, or maybe even 20, because it's 800 feet up a twisting track. It's going to take a little while. So yeah, let's see what everybody else is doing in Kresk first, and then we'll get back to the thing that Jareth will notice. He's got keen elven eye. Yeah, so Garrison is just kicking his feet up and hugging a bottle of wine. What was that?
I like a nice whiskey. Do you guys have cigars here? Would someone be able to get me a nice cigar? There must be something in here. You've been here for decades.
Dimitri has got all stuff that you might.
Yeah, that's
He's
not
got
good.
wine.
Gareth,
He
what about,
doesn't
a
have
nice
whiskey.
robe?
He's
Have any-
got wine.
What about a plush robe? Velvet, anything?
He gives you a robe.
Yes.
They're very thankful. Everything you guys basically brought the abbot down to them to raise their son, and you're gonna do this task to get them this dress, and you've brought wine to him. He's your best friend now. He went from being a total asshole when you guys first got here to your drunk best friend. You're probably downstairs with him, and he's trying to sing with you, and you're both in these robes that have monogrammed Kreskov signas on them and stuff. Cigars, smoking, and endless bottles of wine.
This is good. I just
what
have
about-
it it's roped around my stub. It's just the bottle roped around his stub.
Okay. What about
Garrison,
Riles?
Don't drink it all. Don't drink it all.
Dimitri's
Riles,
No, drink it all.
there's plenty. You brought a whole pack for us. We've got even extras now. We'll never get through it. Now that the wine is flowing again, let's drink. Let's drink to our health. Let's drink to my boy.
Cheers.
And his son basically has been kind of taken up to his room to rest. He's not anywhere around at this point. The Baroness is taking care of him. He looked a bit shaken up after the ordeal, But the rest of you are just partying, I think, downstairs. What about Gretchen is trying to keep Garrison under wraps?
Yeah, and I'd like to examine the child when I can, but I don't want to like bother him.
Oh, you're suspicious too, huh?
Yeah, might be best just to double check.
Are you going to bump into Nazoth like on the stairs going up to like check on the boy? Is Nazoth up to something too?
Nazoth's in the Burgermeister house, but
Yeah, that's where
I
Gretchen
kinda-
is. That's where Gretchen and Garrison are. Like, Garrison's partying with the Burgermaster. Gretchen's concerned about the boy, but trying to keep Garrison under control. What are you up to?
I do, because, I mean, Nazoth's a little suspicious. I mean, you don't just, especially, well, actually, I wasn't there when y'all made that discovery. Did y'all talk about that? About the ritual not looking right?
That was Jareth, who was told by Esmeralda, but I don't think
I don't
Jareth
think
had the chance. He didn't tell anybody else.
I don't think, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't roll
Yeah.
high enough to realize anything was strange.
Yeah, Esmeralda's the only one that noticed something, and she was whispering.
I
to
didn't
Garreth.
Well, Nazoth didn't notice that, I guess, then, but I do think it's kind of weird that this guy just brought this kid back like it was nothing. Like it wasn't no pomp or ceremony or anything. That doesn't
An hour.
happen.
There was an hour ceremony, but you're right. I mean, have you ever seen anybody raised from the dead back to life before?
Not particularly, but I mean,
It does. I mean, I'm not going to say that you're wrong. I'm not going to say you're wrong.
I mean, I don't actually know. I've never played this campaign before, but something's up here. And I feel like Nazoth would be suspicious.
And to make it even more suspicious, the dude worships a good god, and he claimed that the woman that he brought back is like that the gods helped him do it. Obviously, it's like a holy prayer, you know. So like it makes it even more interesting, like what he's able to channel or how he's doing it, you know.
Oh yeah, heck, Gretchen. I mean, you have those eyes, you know.
Yeah. That
Is that what you were thinking of doing?
yeah. The next time I see the kid, I'm gonna use Eyes of the Grave.
All right. Is Nazoth actually doing anything, or is he just kind of monitoring the situation here?
I'm just there
Just there
for moral
All right,
support.
What about Riles? Is he partying with Garrison?
Yeah, I think Riles is drinking, partying. If there's a crowd, he's telling some jokes. Probably at the
There's a crowd of
expense
2, maybe 3,
All right.
probably 4 actually. If
Is
Nazoth is around.
Dimitri one of them?
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
And
the
our
jokes
wits-
are
our
at
wits are
Dimitri's
lower.
expense, but they're like they're like
Yes.
lighthearted, you know. But
Garrison's never been happier.
like, yeah, he is like Riles is like, haha, you were a dick to us when we got here, but now you love us, so here you go. I'm gonna roast you a little bit.
Your son was dead, but now he's not.
Now he's not. Like Pickle Lane, son. Like,
Oh my god!
is Riles doing this to the
It's
point where he
awful.
might piss off the Baron? 'Cause
no.
Baron's kinda
He's very he's like smiling and being very like making sure that everything he says, even if like, you know, like how you could like say like terrible things with a nice tone to a dog, and like the dog doesn't know what you're saying. Like that's what like Riles is like trying to pull
only
off.
if you use the puppy voice, like, what a good dog, what
Yeah.
a stupid good dog. That's the only way you can do it.
That's what he's trying to do with the Baron. Essentially, he's like, it's like, yeah, that's
All right, so roll a persuasion check for me,
persuasion. Okay,
or performance if you're telling these jokes.
it's
if
the
you're
same
roasting.
either way.
Give me a roasting check. All right, so he does not get upset with you. Like he seems to know he knows the score. He maybe gives you a little bit back as well, but he's not nearly as.
Oh, if he gives it
eloquent
back, he
to
tries to make it. Yeah, that's.
He's like,
Riles
oh, yeah,
loves
you
that.
strangers thought you were all murderers and hobos are werewolves. He pats Garrison on the shoulder.
No, yeah, that's just this one.
Not realizing there's possible
Is
werewolf.
Is this
sitting
two
next to
truths and a lie?
Yeah.
This is what we're playing.
All right, so you guys are partying downstairs at the Burgomaster's. Meanwhile, up at the Abbey, we're gonna wrap up right here with a bit of a tiny bit of a weird. Back up the Abbey. Just saying that Jareth is going to notice something. You guys make your way back into the abbey through the courtyard and into the eastern wing. Bimothy, like, you can't see in the dark. Neither can Esmeralda. Gretchen couldn't either. And there was this whole dark area of the eastern wing that she couldn't see into, a hallway that had no lights in it at all. But the area here has a couple windows and just enough light for you guys to kind of make your way through. Bimothy, you're with Esmeralda, kind of. Maybe Bimothy's following a little bit behind. I think Jareth was asking questions for Esmeralda. And as you step past this hallway, Jareth, Esmeralda seems to be completely unaware that there is something standing in this hallway, maybe about 20 feet or so down in the dark. Jareth, you look down and you see this humanoid figure that is about 9 feet tall, just standing in the center of that hallway, naked except for a loin, and it's got stitches all over its body. It's a little bit malformed, like its head, like its neck is kind of a little at an angle. One of its arms is longer than the other one, and you can see all these stitches, just like you saw with Vasilka, like around its neck and its arms, and like, and it's got these sort of, well, you can only see in dark, in black and white with dark vision, so you can't tell like colors or anything like that. But this thing's just staring at you in the dark, standing there, stock still. It's a terrifying sight. Does not move at all. Just stands there looking at it.
I just want to say I actually like got a little bit of like goosebumps like in real life.
Yeah.
Like
Bimothy, you can't even see it. Like, you know,
oh no, I'm
seem to
so
notice
glad. I'm so glad Bimothy can't see this because I'm actually losing my shit in real life.
Thank God you don't have dark vision.
Should end with a Bimothy scream. Ah!
So Jareth, you're the only one, Jareth, that sees this massive man or being or whatever it is just standing in that hallway. And again, this is the same hallway where Gretchen had gone down, and you can hear in this hallway that there's noises coming from multiple doors to the north and the south in the eastern wing here. Let's see,
Where's our room?
Your room is upstairs. So
Okay.
Esmeralda leads you past the thing. She can't see it because it's standing there. It doesn't even, you can't even tell if it's breathing. It's so still that like there's no reason for her to have like heard this thing or noticed it.
So Jareth is thinking, this is probably a bodyguard. I'm not going to attack it unless it attacks me. And I will tell Esmeralda about it once we get into the room away from it.
You're like, whoa, yeah, what was up with that one guard? You know, he wasn't wearing anything like on his flesh.
Oh. Boy.
So what you hear as you're kind of passing through this is that from behind those doors and down that hallway, you can hear the sound of whispered curses. There's a stench coming from down there. It smells like filth, like an unclean outhouse. And occasionally you can hear like a mad cackle, just like and a couple whimpers and stuff. There's the sounds of many creatures down behind those doors.
Lovely.
I'm assuming you will tell Esmeralda, but we were going to do that next. This is sort of like our Cliffy. So you look down this hallway, you see this creature that nobody else sees.
Yeah. So I'm thinking this is probably a bodyguard. Do not attack unless it attacks me, and I'll tell Esmeralda about it once we get to the room.
Yeah, this is the biggest guy you've ever seen. Like, imagine like this guy's like bigger than Andre the Giant. Imagine somebody took Andre the Giant and like the Undertaker and like cut them apart and stitched them back together.
Oh,
I don't
and
like
you're
that.
Forgetting the Great Khali.
The Great Khali, yeah. So just the biggest pro wrestlers you've ever seen. Imagine like 3 of them that have been cut apart and put back together. And that's what this guy looks like.
Oh, the abbot's messed up.
Maybe.
Right on. I love this campaign.
It's awful. I love it.
It's a cool thing. I love it.
It's
All right.
weird. I came into D&D with fun, fantastical, and Wild Beyond the Witchlight, and now
Yeah.
it's just kind of gone down.
We've gone like the spectrum since we started doing these campaigns. Well, Beyond the Witchlight was total like whimsy, and then it went like to demon hunting after that, and then we went into fucking outer space for a while,
Pirates.
and pirates and shit, and now you guys are doing this. The creepiest dark thing ever.
Maybe horror.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right, everybody. We'll hold it
Thank
off
you,
here.
Rob.
Yeah, thank you everybody. Fun game, and we'll get at it again next week.
Yeah.
Do you have a couple minutes before you go, Rob?
Peace
Yeah,
out.
what do you need?
Bye.
Peace out.
Have a good one. 2 questions. First,